Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Midnight Mondays. We've been off for a couple of weeks here. Had a lot of just scheduling conflicts 2 weeks ago, and then Izzy was not able to uh, lead our charge last week. But here we are back, and we will be playing this evening Generation Midnight, a probably two-session event that we will be running. My most recent creation. We're going to be in space, everybody. Nobody can hear you scream. Anyways, I'd like to introduce some of our returning players here. We have Cheese Cat. It's going to be Brandon Mazewalker in our game. And also, Cheese Cat, could you blast our this evening's mutual aid request?
So this evening's mutual aid request comes to us from a very dear friend of mine of damn near 20 years. Papa Sean needs to help keep his house. We were successful for the month of September. We still need help for October, so even $1 helps. Him and his kitty do not deserve to be on the street.
Yeah, so definitely that means all of our all donations and subscriptions and things tonight are going to go directly to that cause. So give what you can, let people know, and we should be blasting the request somewhere in the Twitch chat if you want to social media it out there. But definitely, and as always, we try to do a different one every Monday. We take the collections, and I send it off as soon as we do. So, next up, Logan playing Otto Parker. Introduce yourself, please.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Logan Stroud. I'm Gavin's brother, and that is all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is the one role he serves.
I was gonna say, here lies Logan Stroud, Gavin Stroud's brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm fine with that, and I'm gonna bury him out here on the property, so it's okay. Not because
cheaper.
Exactly.
Got some apple trees if you want to put them over top.
We have Eater playing Serpiente.
Yeah, so my name's Renee, and I'm gonna be playing Henry Serpiente. Haven't really given him too much of a fleshed out backstory, but I will promise I will be funny. You have my word. So.
And we have our first timer here, playing for the first time in the Midnight World, Ray Boom Boom Jackson. I actually don't have your web handle other than another character name, so.
Well, my web handle is Chocolate Otaku, and I am Ray Boom Boom Jackson.
Awesome.
How are you doing?
All right. Well, just you caught us in the middle of character creation, everybody. We are getting Ray Boom Boom Jackson created as we speak. Now, everybody else, Brandon, Otto, and Henry, all have characters already made. However, they're kind of going to go along and see if there's any tweaks they want to make as we move forward. We're using Method 3. There are three systems in which, three ways in which you can create a character in our game. There's the randomized way, which is you roll like 5d20, and it automatically populates not only the story of your first touch with dread beings, but your character sheet at the same time. This one, however, is Method 3 that we're doing, which is you get to be choosy and select everything you want exactly how you want, completely tailoring your character to a situation. And then you would kind of write your own little blurb on the back for your first instance into touch with dread. So, we are jumping in with Ray Boom Boom Jackson here. Old Boom Boom's on archetypes, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'm going to catch everybody up to where we're at. The first thing you do is attributes. There are two sections of attributes. There are primary and secondary attributes. Primary are your charisma, your acumen, strength. Secondary are coordination, intuition, resilience. You get to choose 3 dots and 2 dots, and the last one has 1 dot in each of those 2 sections. Skills, which are composure, empathy, endurance, manipulation, metal, reaction, wit, vigilance, and toughness. You choose 2 at 3, 3 at 2, and the rest of them stay at 1. And then aptitudes, which are the modifiers for your skills, which will increase your dice type to a D8 in your skills in order to succeed. They are what do you got here? Boom boom.
Say that again.
What did you have you said you were done selecting them? Or you or you're selecting them currently?
I'm selecting archetypes right now.
Are you well, archetype is not super important because you're selecting archetype basically just tells you what skills to put down. If you're selecting are you selecting an archetype for for aptitudes you would select a vocation.
Okay, I see what you're talking about now. Okay, yeah, I picked mechanics.
Mechanics is your first aptitude?
Yeah.
Okay, you get to choose 3 more.
Create. Give me a moment.
You got it. Just give people a kind of an idea of stuff that we have. Aptitudes are things like, please, would you open what I wanted you to open? There it is. Things like, create. It is one of the defining traits of humanity is our capacity to create, from astonishing works of art to marvels of technology to delectable culinary feats. You have cultivated the ability to make something from nothing. You inspire the mind and solve practical problems with your skill in creation. And what this ultimately means is you are able to cobble things together, basically with whatever kind of specialization that you get. Being, say, you can create traps. You could. You're not limited to just your thing, but your ability to create something is an important part of what you are. There's other things such as our combat in this game. We have weaponry, hand-to-hand, and marksmanship are the 3. Basically, it's melee, brawl, like punching, and then ranged weapons, and it's sort of like it's meant to cover the entire scope of time frames you could play within the game, so that you don't have to have laser pistols. It's just needless.
Okay, I got mechanics, create, drive, pilot, and navigation.
Okay, mechanics, create. Wait, you should only have 4.
It's drive/pilot.
Oh, this one's gonna be pilot. There's no drive on.
Okay.
There's no need for drive on this one, but yeah. Sorry, drive, pilot, and then navigation.
Yeah.
Cool. What was your specialization? Aeronautics. So aerospace, basically. Is that for your mechanics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So when fixing stuff on the ship, you will all of your 8s. We were originally doing the rule of exploding. We decided that if you roll an 8 on your D8, it counts as 2 successes. The way that successes work in this game is you only have to have 1 success to succeed in anything. The game's very narrative driven. It's not very crunch driven. So at 0, you have a complicated success. You still perform what you perform. You do it. But you probably cause some problems for someone else or yourself later down the road in accomplishing it. So say you're trying to unlock a door and you roll 0 successes, you don't do it in time and the guards find you, but you unlock the door. A 1, which is a critical failure, and the only way you get those is through distress dice. As you gain distress in this game, I'm going to have you add a d4 to all of your rolls. Every d4 that rolls with a 1 takes a success away. That is how you end up having failures in this game, and the more you come in contact with your trauma trigger, which we're about to get to, and the more that you deal with really stressful stuff, the worse it becomes for your character. Also, the more you use your powers, it pushes that thing a little forward too. But the more it messes with your stuff, or messes with your head, the harder it is to handle things. You'll see on your character sheet where it says hour, minute, and second. Those are expendable. As hours is kind of your level. You should be hour 5, so please move that up to 5, and we'll get to that in a moment. Your minutes will be at 1. Every time you use one of your dread manifestations, you'll add minutes to your track. I'll tell you to add minutes to your track when other things happen. When it hits 12, you go up to 6, and you can level up just as if you hit level 6. And we'll get to that there. Seconds are like willpower expenditures in Vampire, right? Like, it's how you do re-rolls. You can spend 6 per round. Ultimately, you can spend 1 to re-roll a die. You can spend 2 to add a d8 to your dice pool, and you can spend 6 to completely ignore your distress die for that roll. But again, once you use 12 seconds, you will go up another minute, and it will continue to push you forward. Once you hit hour 12, that is when the bad things happen. That is when you have come in, like, you are so far beyond humanity at that point that, like, you are going to come in contact with a dread entity of some sort. You become basically, we have a couple different things that'll happen. I think I'm going to do a stream where that happens in the future, so I don't really burn it too much. But yeah, and then also in this game, you cannot die unless you want to. If you go to 0 health, you have decisions that you have to make. In that you either wake up at the end of the combat with a wound, or you make a deal with a dread entity, and you have to do something it asks you to do, and it'll bring you back up to full health. So these are the kind of like little kind of poking at the other parts of the character sheet. But aptitudes, anyway. Let's get on to the next part of this. These are your privileges and challenges. There is a list of each. Choose 1 privilege and 1 challenge. Record them on your sheet. And then they will incur specific bonuses or negatives. Go ahead and like kind of mark that somewhere. I usually use like a note on a PDF thing if you can, or if you got like a piece of paper to write down. And then after that, we'll get into trauma and solace triggers.
I wanted to say real quick. I don't know, like I kind of glossed over when the aptitudes was being picked for Ray, but I think we do have a couple ones in common.
Mm-hmm.
And just in the sake of not overlapping, because I don't know how many pilots we need on a small crew.
No,
That's fine.
I can change it.
Oh no, I'm just making sure because I have navigation, pilot, and tech.
Okay.
Because I can change mine. I'm totally up to changing mine.
Yeah. See, specifically, everybody who's just joining us, these are Awakening crew members. They are on a rotation of basically 10-year periods where they are awake and running this ship, and then they sleep for roughly 190 years. Then they wake up again. This is a generational ship meant to take people in cryostasis across the universe, or to another like solar system, to repopulate things there. And the crew is responsible for getting them there. So that is kind of where we're at here. So the crew would be built to be tailored, in specific ways with overlapping skills. So,
Okay.
And again, I love meta game, like trying to crack this stuff anyway. So.
Okay, I got rid of pilot and I got nature because I kind of needed that for cook anyway.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. Nature is a cooking thing. Actually, create is already a cooking thing. Create is cooking, specifically. In this case, nature would be being able to like be in nature and create a meal from nature. Nature is in fact, yeah.
That might actually come in handy.
You are not incorrect, actually, because there is a hydroponics kind of like greenery, like food producing section that's like its own little thing in the ship. So you're not wrong. It might help you answer questions, identify things.
Okay,
All right.
there we go. Privileges.
Yeah, privileges and challenges are next up. Privileges and challenges affect your character in a myriad of different ways. Some of them might give you a wound, which reduces one of your stats by 2. It can never go above 3 until something happens to help you somehow like get over that wound. So like maybe a new limb, or something to that degree.
And you said you get 3 privileges?
No, you get 1 privilege and 1 challenge.
Okay.
And it's recorded at the top of your character sheet on the right. Sweet. That's something else we do. We have people that like to throw you extra little bonuses to your rolls all night out of the chat.
Why, thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Graham.
Where did... You know, the weirdest part about having kids is how there's never any paper you can write on around.
Right?
Ever. It's just like, hey, I had all this paper, and then gone. You know what? Not allowed to have that, Dad. Okay. Really quick, I'm going to be writing down some important notes for me, and I'm going to be asking everybody what these are as we're doing them with Ray. So, Brandon, what is your privilege and your challenge?
My challenge, I am a skeptic, and my privilege is I am Dreadbane.
Means the Dread do not like being around, Brandon.
Yeah.
If in a situation in which the Dread are coming for a group, Brandon is the least likely to be attacked first. It would have to be, that works specifically with like servitors who are mindless. That does not work with egregores who are able to make a conscious decision and go, you are the problem. Now, they may not want to, right? But if you are the biggest issue, they will take care of you. But it still could get you out of some trouble there. They may not want to chase you, you know, like...
I'm gonna be like, I don't believe in you. You are an anomaly, and I need more data points on you so I can do experiments.
Right. And then we have Henry. Henry, what is your challenge and privilege?
So let me start with the challenge, which is probably going to be really nice considering you have Dreadbane. My challenge is Bad Magnet.
Oh, fun.
That is the opposite of Dreadbane. So if there are servitors attacking the group, which are the mindless entities of Dread, they will always attack the Bad Magnet first. That's how we do.
Yeah, and my privilege, honestly, I thought about picking Lucky again, like Lucky and Bag Magnet, just like both of them slamming into each other, but I didn't decide to be that person, and I decided to go with something slightly practical, photographic memory.
Okay, cool. Photographic memory, it gives you... I can't remember the...
I have the blurb right here.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Your character has a phenomenal mind for recall. They're able to remember minute details of an event for years after it happens. While it isn't accurate to say that they never forget anything, their memory is so acute that it almost seems supernatural to others. Anytime your character needs to recall an important detail of an item or event they personally observed, no test is needed. They simply remember the information. Further, once per game session, you may make an acumen plus wit roll to see if your character remembers a piece of obscure information from the character's past that might be critical to their current situation.
So those are fun. Otto, what's your challenge and privilege?
Alrighty, my challenge is traumatized. Your character's brush with the beyond wasn't the only trauma that has come to define them. At some point in their life, they were subjected to one or more other horrific events that have become ingrained just as deeply into their psyche. While all of the touched have some kind of psychological breaking point, your character is even more vulnerable. At character creation, I choose a second trauma trigger. The second trauma trigger, it acts exactly as the first one, and if I happen to get them both at the same time, they stack.
Double, yep.
And my privilege is lucky.
What was your traumatized challenge? What did you choose for your trigger?
Flashing lights and being bound.
I just need the extra one for this one.
Oh, and being bound.
Yeah, because we're gonna
either one really.
Yeah,
That's
gotcha.
A nice combo right there.
Yeah.
Whips and chains excite me.
All right, Ray, you have a challenge?
Yes, I do.
And privilege? All right, what's your challenge?
Authority on first. I don't like motherfuckers telling me what to do.
I love it.
Hell nah.
And my privilege is optimistic. When I get lemons, I make lemonade.
All right, cool. Just cool. All right, I love it. All right, sweet.
Happy
So,
go lucky, fuck the authority.
yeah, fuck the authority. Do you want some lemonade? I can dig that all fucking day because you know. So anyway, next up in the this is the last little, or almost the last little part of your character sheet. Create your trauma and your solace. So these triggers are in the game, and the way this works is at some point in time in the character's life, we call them the touched. They came in contact with a dread entity. In this game, there is a veil of twilight that is between. There are other universes very close to this one, and there are entities that we can't quite understand with their own kind of ideas on what they would like to do here. They leak pieces of their will into our world, and those are what we run into. Every character here has come into contact with a dread being at some point. This is what's established as your trauma trigger. That moment has done something to you to make you go. Anytime you're in it, you're pushed further into, the dread that you experienced then. So, trauma triggers can be all sorts of things. Now, this is something that is important to the system of the game, and it's also important to understand we deal with a lot of people who do have realistic trauma triggers that can sometimes overlap. So what we don't want to do is have a trauma trigger that's going to actually cause somebody in the game undue stress if they just don't want to think about it. And if we have that, this is why we talk about trauma triggers before the game begins. We'll make an edit and make sure that everybody's going to have all the, able to enjoy themselves within, a controllable atmosphere, which is why, TTRPG people, DMs need to stop being dicks. Just anyway. So as you are looking at the traumas and solace triggers are the opposite. There's something that calms you. That one thing, the cigarette at the end of the day, the glass of scotch at your desk at work on a Friday. Those are the things that kind of help get you through. And when you do those, you will roll all of your current distress die pool, and everything that comes up with a 4, you remove 1 minute from your tracker. Anytime you're able to use your solace trigger. This is how you keep from going too far into it. And pushing yourself too far, because you really don't want to get to the end of the clock. It seems like fun, but the character really would not prefer to. However, Brandon, would you tell us what your trauma and solace triggers are, please?
My trauma trigger is the coppery smell of blood. And my solace trigger is sitting in quiet reflection.
Okay. Yes. So when during the session of the game, Brandon Maze Walker comes in contact or smells the coppery scent of blood, what will happen is immediately they will add 1 minute to their minute tracker, increasing them towards their next hour. And the way that I normally run it is once per little what's called a turn or an act or a little section. This goes off once. If they are still in contact with it, I will have them roll a keep it together check. At that point, your first contact, you're like, ugh, and then you kind of have to push yourself to deal with it. That can cause them to accrue more minutes, or they can succeed in it. If you get a phenomenal success in that, you just ignore it for the rest of the time, is how that would go. But I wouldn't have them just rolling it all the time, because that's terrible. And no one's.
I wouldn't know what a phenomenal success feels like.
Not after the last character. Gods no. Henry, your trauma and your solace, please. Solace.
So, my trauma, I created my own. You'll let me know whether or not it works.
Cool.
Unexpected loud noises.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and solace is from the table I picked, making other people laugh.
That
doubling
actually
down on being funny.
That's actually one of those things. Your trauma triggers on my list of alternates that I wrote out, because it was just one of those unexpected just crashes or bangs or whatever that startled it. Yeah.
Not even so far. Somebody goes boo, and okay, well there you go.
All right, Otto.
My trauma trigger is flashing lights, and my additional one for my challenge is being bound. And my solace trigger is singing to myself.
Okay, cool.
Sing
And
softly.
Ray, have you gotten yours?
Trauma trigger, voices being raised at you. And Solace trigger, preparing a unique meal for the group.
Nice. All right. So I just want to let you know that the way that this works is I will track your trauma triggers and those of your challenges that would need to be tracked by me, like actually have a narrative thing. It is your job to track your privileges and your solace triggers. So whenever you're making the roll, or you're going for it, let me know and we'll go and to make the roll. Solace triggers operate in the same vein in that they can only happen once per section. In the same way that your automatic trigger of your trauma can only happen once in the same section. So now it's the last part of the character sheet. You do what I said. Yeah. There it goes. All right. Is the write your character's memory? Did anyone? I didn't actually. Did anyone else have a memory? I know that. Yeah, Brandon Mazewalker has a memory. Henry, did you get one?
If you give me 2 minutes, by the time Brandon is done with theirs, I think I can cook something up.
Did you do a memory?
No, it wasn't on the sheet, so I didn't fuck with it.
Yeah, it's not on the sheet, so...
That's fine. So
I'm a veteran at this by now.
At the very bottom of the actual rule guide that I gave you, the last page, is that's not it. Oh yeah, we didn't choose dread manifestations. Oh my god.
Yeah, can't forget
That part's
those.
important.
Oh my god. Oh, it's missing from that section for some reason. How strange. I made a mistake. All right, anyway, let me just dread manifestations. You are currently, Ray, you're actually currently at, if you guys want to write one, anyone that doesn't want to do one, that's fine. We don't have to. But anyone that does, we will do one after we get done with this. You are currently at hour 5. Everyone's starting at hour 5. Basically, that means that at hours 2 and 4, you gained 2 points and 4 points respectively. You may use those 4 points to increase any of your attributes or skills, purchase an additional aptitude, or purchase an additional specialization. So you get 6 of any of that you would like to add to your character sheet. And then we will go into your dread manifestations, which you will get a first and third hour of. Can you, 3, let me know what your dread manifestations are and what they do, just for the people out there? And yourselves and each other.
Are we going in order?
We'll go to Brandon first. Yeah.
All right. So my first hour manifestation is the madness angle. The madness angle is a planar manipulation. My initial brush with the dread has left me with the ability to briefly peer across the twilight veil and into the midnight world. And then my copy paste went weird into different iterations of the multiverse similar to my own. By taking a moment to observe one of these nearly infinite parallel realities, I'm able to readily spot things in my world that I may have otherwise overlooked. To use this madness angle, I would take my normal action and say that I want to take a look into the multiverse and see if there's anything that is hidden by mundane means, and furthermore, I can pick up on any plot sensitive information that hasn't yet been seen.
And what is your second power? And just to remember, most people probably took a third hour power, but you can take a second 1 hour, first hour power if you want. It's, possible to do that. But
I thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Giannis Gaze might go good with this madness angle, but I don't want to be touching things.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah. So for my third hour, I decided to pick a third hour. And I got the Healing Cascade from the Vital Touch Dread Manifestation list. So I can remove biological safety mechanisms from a living thing's healing ability, causing them to rapidly regenerate. It'll cost me 2 minutes on my clock, but I can instantly restore 4 health to a target of my choice. And I can touch myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to use it on anyone else.
Yes.
Which is better than the Soothe, which is the first hour.
It is better than Soothe, which is first hour. Soothe, you can heal someone else, but that one is, rapid regeneration is neat. Henry.
Yeah, I thought that sounded good.
Yeah. What is your first and third?
My first is Touch of Eternity.
Oh, real quick, hold on, Ray. You did get you're on the list of those Dread Manifestations, right?
Yeah,
I
I already
forgot
got
that.
I got my first hour already.
I couldn't remember if I had gotten there. I'm all crossed up. Anyway, Henry, go ahead.
So yeah, my first one is Touch of Eternity.
Uh-huh.
Your character simply does not age past the point you've decided. While this manifestation can conceivably render your character immortal, it's important to note that Touch of Eternity will only protect your body from the passage of time. Character who remains eternally 21 years old can still drink themselves to death, and they can still clog their arteries too badly for their heart to maintain function. To use the active property of Touch of Eternity, choose a target that has been reduced to 0 health, and add 1 minute to your midnight clock. Until the scene is resolved, the target is not subject to a dread intervention, and does not need to choose an outcome. Instead, they are revived at the scene with 1 health, and they do not incur a wound.
Mm-hmm.
Which can pair nicely with your healing.
Yeah, it can. You keep people alive. And your third hour?
That would be Panopticon from Planar Manipulation. Reaching into other worlds, you simultaneously see through the eyes of every version of yourself, blah blah blah, to the same generation, the general situation that you're in. To use Panopticon, add 2 minutes to your midnight clock. You may then upgrade your attribute dice to D8s for any kind of perception roll for the rest of the scene. Further, if there are any supernaturally hidden objects, creatures, or people in your vicinity, you may make an opposed skill check using your perception against the opponent's stealth. If you win the check, you are able to perceive the faded silhouette of the target. You may not be able to identify them, but you are aware of their presence and where they are in the space.
See invisibility.
Yeah.
Neat.
Figure, special eyes would be good on a navigator.
Probably. Otto.
So we don't have a 5th hour dread contract?
I'm sorry, you do have a 5th hour.
Okay, cool.
Was
I put it there, and I was like,
we're just giving Boom Boom time to catch up. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. No, I just want to make sure.
That was
he said second and fourth earlier, and I was like, well, that's not at all what it is. So I was very confused.
I was like, well, second and fourth are your dot increase.
Oh, damn. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Anyway,
so should
Brandon,
I only read my first?
I'm going to get Brandon to read the 5th, and then Henry. Brandon, what's your 5th? Sorry.
My 5th is really awesome, I think. Going back to planar manipulation with Karma Thief. So not only do I get to look through the multiverses for everything else that I've done, but I also look for a version of me that is successful. And I rip that victory right from them.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. I didn't even read that one.
3 minutes to the clock. Your character may forego any unopposed check and treat the results as a phenomenal success.
And break the multiverse.
And then if you use the opposed check, you do not make a roll for the action. You simply claim 5 hits on an opposed check, which is enough to just trigger anything, period.
I would wonder what the ethics of stealing good luck from yourself are, but that's like a long conversation.
You know, you and I can have a conversation because I had an ethical conversation about things that are probably not Twitch safe regarding clones and oneself. So anyone who wants to have that discussion with me, I would love to.
I hate
Yeah,
it.
we can totally discuss that one later. That is down right up my alley. Anyway, here's another interesting tidbit to this. It is conceivable that if you have this power, another version of you does too, and at some moment, one of them could come in and steal your victory from you.
Yeah, it's
That
like
is-
playing that game
Jesus.
with the baseball bat.
Yeah,
You know?
just get to the top. Yeah, then. All right, Henry, what's your 5th hour?
Instantaneous arrival from the temporal adept. Advance or reduce your position in the timeline to travel to any place you have ever been or will eventually go. When this manifestation is invoked, your character adds 3 minutes to the midnight clock to teleport themselves and up to 2 willing participants to a place that they have either been before or can reasonably argue that they will be. Hang on. They're eventually going to go. Because the nature of this manifestation is temporal instead of spatial, there is no chance that a character may arrive at a point in space they didn't intend, such as a wall or floor. However, as with the other usage of the temporal adept theme, the future is uncertain. Your attempt to land in a specific location that you hope your character will eventually go may well be stymied by events that you cannot yet perceive. I didn't think about the consequences of this one because at the time I thought we were going to be 3 and there's 4 of us. If I use this to transport 3 of us some other time, what happens to player 4?
The time does not change. You are literally just on your own. You are shifting to a time where you would be there, but right now. You were basically using it as a conduit to jump through time and space and get to that point. So
Okay.
you would not be stopping time or changing it outside of you.
Okay, so it's not like we're gonna leave poor Ray 3 seconds behind in the past while we're
No. It doesn't change. Yeah, it doesn't change your time. Like he's not gonna get stuck and listen. Like that's you would just instantaneously transport to a place that you said that you've been to before. Theoretically, and you don't know if this is gonna work this far. You could all go back to Earth on this, or 2 of you could go back to Earth on this power. But you don't know if it's going to go that far. No one's ever tested it to your knowledge, right? So,
Can I ask an exploitable question about that power?
Yes.
What is to stop a player from going, yeah, I was planning on going over there, so put me over there? But what's the limitation on the power?
There's not really, the limitation is me. I mean,
Obviously,
were you
yeah.
planning to go over there?
It's 3 minutes every time I use it, though.
Yeah.
Well, there's a pretty fucking big limitation too.
I mean, you can't just you can't spam this one out all that well. But it is meant to be pretty insanely powerful at this point. But you're also going to be dealing with the insanely powerful
Yeah.
response.
Sorry, that's just QA brain. Like,
You got it. Otto. First, 3rd, 5th.
my first is Shadow Pierce. I can see in complete darkness for 30 seconds. That cost me 30 seconds, is what I mean. Glimmer guys. That is 2 minutes. I can alter my appearance, not my shape or my size, to appear featureless or to mimic another person that I have met or know of. And my 5th hour is Ethereal Effect, and that cost me 3 minutes. And that is to become invisible, though I can still be detected by thermal scans.
Okay, neat. All right, Ray, what you got?
First hour was Shadow Pierce. Third
Awesome.
hour was Chrono Stutter, and the 5th
Ooh.
was Ethereal Effect.
Nice.
A Chrono
I mean-
Stutter it's fine. Like having the same onesie is not a big deal. Chrono Stutter, by the way, is basically it's a temporal adept one. So basically, it's the same kind of alteration of time for yourself as the one we were talking about with Henry. And you introduce a momentary recalculation in the temporal matrix of reality, causing an action to occur twice simultaneously. So when making an attack check, you can add 2 minutes to your midnight clock to double the effectiveness of your attempt. Each net hit rolled on the check functionally counts as 2 hits. Chrono Stutter may be used reflexively, meaning that you may choose to activate this manifestation after you have seen the results of your attack checks. That's pretty much everything in the game, though. We like you to make decisions after you see the dice, because we're building a story together. So let's,
Can I have a quick question about glimmer guys?
Yeah.
Like changing my appearance. Is that just my flesh and bone I'm changing, or is that my appearance as in like my apparel as well?
Let me read one of the guys. What is the pipe
I think
that one is?
I have that one from the other Henry, and I'm glad I changed it because
Oh no, it's
Yeah.
refractive mastery. Yeah, you look however you want, clothing and all.
Wait, thank you.
It's a complete and total like realistic illusion.
Awesome. Whatever, man. Ethereal effect for two of us is gonna be sick, because then we can just like sneak past shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
It's like you two sneak in the dark, and then me and Brandon will just blink there. Totally works.
That is totally gonna work. Yeah.
We're never gonna have to fucking touch a monster.
Now, those of you who wanted to share your story, we will do your story now, and then we will take a quick break. For everybody, kind of take a moment because it's been lots of numbers and crunching, and then we will begin our session on Generation Midnight. So, take it away, Brandon.
Once, when I was recording my observations, I saw an entire galaxy get destroyed by an unimaginably large star going supernova. All I could do is blink rapidly and steel myself for my inevitable demise. But after a moment, my eyes cleared. The galaxy was still there. Since then, I've been dedicated to constant observation in the hopes of avoiding that star.
Okay. Henry, did you do one?
Yeah. All right. Once, when I was a child, I was locked in a room when I swear I heard the miserable screams of tortured souls. All I could do was talk to myself to distract myself from the screaming and the pain that I kept hearing. Since then, I've always tried to make sure that others have a voice to hear in their moments of pain.
Cool. Auto Ray, you did not do one, correct? Or you did? Yeah, Auto's like it's cool if you didn't. It's not a big thing, and that's really that's what the randomized character generation puts together. Puts together that story on the back of your character sheet. Those story points are connected to certain stats, and they go on there. So that's when you do the randomized character creation, which we normally do. But tonight, we wanted to show you Type 3. So just let everybody know, we're going to we're going to call it back at 10 sharp. And then we will continue our events that evening. Everybody get a chance to have a quick bio or smoke or whatever. And we will see you then, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and be right back. Begin this hopefully well-crafted adventure. So, all right, we have everybody's characters. We have established kind of the general theme and what's going on, and here we go. You pull the first breath of air into your lungs as your mind comes awake. A voice comes alive in your head. Good morning, this is Caretaker, and you're being removed from your stasis cycle after 163 years, 7 months, and 243 days of the standard Earth calendar. Your scheduled shift was 48 years, 4 months, and 143 days ago. The Endeavor's internal sensors are undergoing some form of malfunction. Last sensor reports show all sections running at maximum efficiency 63 years, 2 months, and 14 days ago. Your vital signs are showing green across the board. Heart rate and blood pressure are at acceptable levels to finish the stasis cycle. A medical technician will be with you shortly. Your eyes open, and above you see the transparent plexiglass screen of your pod covered with a layer of frost. The lights from the thawing bay are dim, but enough for you to see the ceiling above. And as you lie in the pod, unable to move from the paralytics in your system, your mind wanders, thinking what could be wrong in the Endeavor. The medical staff caretaker mentioned never arrive, and eventually the drugs work their way out of your system, and you're able to move once again. Each of you is connected to your bioports, one in the back of your neck, on your wrist to the pod itself. It's how it intakes drugs and nutrients and things you'll need to survive ongoing, like cryostasis. And we're with you now. Who'd like to start?
I'll give it a shot.
Henry.
So Henry wakes up. Oh, well, that medic never showed up. That's never good. All right. Well, time to get to work. Henry is part of the navigation crew here on the ship, and he's going to take his first steps out of the pod and make his way over to the assigned chambers where he has to go.
As you step out of the pod, real quick. You step out of the pod. You're weak. You were supposed to have a medical technician here to bring you across the way. There are 20. There are 20 bays in this for the 20 members of your crew, and at the direct opposite end of the somewhat curved room is a station where they're supposed to plug your biopods in and allow it to feed you like drugs and this and IV fluids and things like that to get you kind of like going as quickly as possible. However, you don't see any medical staff anywhere. The lights are all dimmed in here. You do see above, when you look across from your little bay to where your station is, above that there is this one-way mirror to be the control room for the thing, which is where the technicians would work to thaw you out normally. But right now you see no movement or anything. And is anyone else also stepping out of their pod?
Brandon is.
Okay.
Nutrients, algae fields.
All right. So you you unhook yourself. Kind of. There's an interior latch that you can like undo, and you are having kind of the same issue as Henry, as you are very weak in the knees. Usually, there's someone here with like kind of a wheelchair, and they basically like wake you up one by one and usually carry you out while you're under the paralytic, but today they're not here. Otto and Ray, are you staying in the pod? Or
Ray is getting up. Oh man, who dropped the ball on this shit, man? Where is everybody? Oh shit, kind of pissed.
I'm pushing open my pod and unhooking myself. Would I know I know how things are supposed to be going, and being part of the medical crew, would I know?
Here's what you know.
Okay.
You know that the entire medical staff is supposed to be, of the previous crew, is supposed to be here for your awakening. That is the duty of the previous crew, is to remain awake, right? Hand over control updates and give a debriefing to everyone woken up. And then that evening, the new medical crew is going to put them all in their cryostasis, and your shift will begin. So you're not. There should be 2 doctors and 3 nurses here. With different kinds of
and one moment. I'm sorry. You said that the robot or the voice said that we had been in there 163 years, correct? And some change. And it said that our shift started 63 years ago?
No, it said your shift started 48 years, 4 months, and 143 days ago. You don't need to like go the exact on this.
Well, I'm just saying that's when we should have started our shift. Like we are waking up 48 years late.
Yes, you're 48 years late. Yes, sir.
I'm just trying to make sure I know.
And then it
exactly
said that 63 years ago, that is when it lost. The last census reports were 63 years ago. So it doesn't know what's going on with the ship for that long.
So what I'm saying is, I wake up and I know that there's no medical staff there. I know the procedures, in and out, because I'm a part of them.
Yeah.
Is there a way, are we giving people drugs to get them out of the paralytic, or is
no?
It just like
the paralytic. Well, normally you would be. That's what hooking yourself up to the machine across would help you be doing. But this time it just stopped pumping the drug because it was over, and it went through your system. So you all laid there entirely paralyzed for what felt like hours. It was hard to kind of tell what was going on, and you eventually you gain enough kind of like, movement to get yourselves out. But you've still got some drug in your system,
Yeah, I'm saying, is there like a area there
Yeah,
that has
right
more
across
of
the
that
street from
drug?
not more of it, but right across the section, right across the section from where you are at, is where you is the little station where you would hook up the person to their next round of like stuff to help them get out of the funk of being in stasis for so long.
Alright.
Kind of like
So-
a full system flush and refluid.
All right, and the four of you mostly stumble kind of out of your bays and into the like dim light of the long hallway in between your bay and the opposite wall, roughly at the same time. You are all completely naked. You are not wearing any of your clothes. You were just absolutely just well, you're flabbergasted. at
Flapping
this
in the
point.
wind.
You're very, very confused as well. So what does everybody do? We'll take the doctor. We'll take point on this one. So
Yeah, I'm immediately going to go to where I know like the wheelchairs are and try to get us some so we can be a little more mobile and start yelling out to, "Hello, guys? We're waking up. It's time to. Where is everybody?" And just start,
Yeah, we're just as confused as you are, but I have a splitting headache. If you could just turn it down, like you're here and I need you here.
Well,
I think first of all, we can probably get something because it's really cold. I don't know about you, but I don't appreciate my birthday suit in the middle of a cold ship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
You need a
uniforms
hand,
are
Otto?
over here.
I know I'm not usually in the med bays, but I can give you a hand and we'll just look for some Johnnies and
oh, sorry, Otto. By the
some
way,
chairs.
you have a minute added for being bound during the time with paralytic in your system.
Ah. Boo! All right.
I'm not the
Gotcha.
first one.
I chose well.
There's no radios in space. Cap.
Basically, anybody who can walk and can go over to, I know where like our stuff is being kept, right? Like our uniforms and stuff. So I point like anybody who can go get themselves dressed. Go if you
where the toilet at, man?
right past where you get your clothes. Same room.
Yeah. It's where you're at is to your front. There's a door to the coming out of the pods straight ahead. There's a doorway that leads up to that upper area with the control room. To your right, there is a nursing like area in which that leads directly into the infirmary, and to your left is where crew accommodations are. That is where your clothing and stuff would be. You kind of have like a ante room to that, and you'll get dressed and stuff like that, and then you would move into the crew area. So you are all also weak. You are able to either take this time to hook yourselves up to the machines and get them to finish their job, or you can move on with your day and figure out what's going on.
I'm hooking myself up to the machine, dude. I need to be mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're used to anybody in the state we're in.
Yeah. Currently, you are all acting intoxicated, and that basically means that any one you roll on any die acts as if it's a distress die. Yeah.
I choose
Like-
no.
Yeah. Seriously, you are.
Yeah,
seriously
hook it up. We're all gonna
Yeah.
hook up, I think.
Yeah. Let's self-care first.
It's important.
So I took all that time to like write the stuff down that I needed to know about your characters, and I put it up here. Never mind, I found it. As soon as I started admitting how I was an idiot, I remember where it was at. All right. We don't have any. Here we go. So you're good. So you have about. It takes about 30 minutes hooked up to this stuff to really start getting you like to the point where you're not groggy. Most of you are kind of silent, just trying to figure out what's going on. But after that time, is there anything you want to discuss to each other? It's kind of your time to like plan and figure out what you want to do when you're.
All right.
What-
Are we well acquainted?
You have had 2 other shifts together in which you spent 10 years awake on the ship together. You know each other very well. You've lived with each other for 20 years at this point. Awake time.
All
You
right.
also notice that you were the only 4 that came out of the pods, and there are 20 different bays.
Something's wrong.
You think? Once we're sorted out here, I think we should get ourselves over to control and see what's going on.
Otto, do you want to team up and we can check out the other pods and see what's going on with the
Yeah.
Why is the computer not telling us that there's only 16 pods are still occupied, or that there's something wrong with the system?
Yeah, were there no fail safes? We've been asleep for 48 extra years. Like there were no fail safes that were supposed to pop us up after a certain amount of time in case an accident happened. Something definitely really bad is going on right now.
So after a little while, you all perk up enough to no longer be intoxicated, and you are able to kind of explore around a little bit. You are all definitely still naked, so if you would like to go get clothes, I've told you where to go do that.
Please, let's end the nudity.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scare everyone with my dangly bits.
Yeah.
So,
it's easier to go invisible when there's no clothes to hide.
It's like when I picked Henry Serpiente, I didn't expect the Serpiente to be loose. So
yeah. Now some things you'll notice immediately from your time here is the fact that you're still on you're on the floor, that you are getting thrust gravity from the ship that you were on. That is how you were able to stand. The gravity on the ship is sitting at about a half a G. So you feel much lighter than you would on Earth, but it feels like the engines are still moving, so that is a good sign. That also means there's power to the ship if the core is still operative. So, so you get your clothes, and then they're the basic sort of like jumpsuits and things like that. And you wanted to what do you do after you are dressed?
Hey,
Brandon and I are gonna check out the pods to see if we can wake anybody else up or why the fuck they didn't wake up.
All right, Henry, Ray, what do you want to do?
We've been asleep for 100 years. I think I'm gonna make us something to eat.
I'd rather not leave him alone, so I guess I'll go with him just for the sake of checking out what else is going on with the ship and general reconnaissance. When you guys, if you need anything, just do we have any methods of communication, besides just yelling or?
Not currently, no.
No, okay. Check
We
out
know
what's
the.
wrong with...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
We would know the ship. We've worked here for 20 years, and even if we don't,
We get some comms.
There are there's comm equipment, in different areas of the ship, as well as there are handheld devices that are little, basically glass panes that are there's no glass, like a holographic sort of touchpad thing that you would record your stuff, watch things, send video messages back and forth across the ship, things like that. You don't have any on you currently, though they're usually handed to you when you wake up.
I think on the way to making breakfast, I think we might want to go try to find some calm.
I mean, we would know where they are, though, right? Because we have to give them to the next people. So
yeah,
we
you do know where they're at.
So essentially, our objectives are find out what happened to the rest of our shift, which are in the pods conveniently over here, and find out what's happened to the previous shift, which are conveniently not here. So we have the here and the not here team. So let's right off the bat, let's split the party.
Good ghost.
So we're gonna start with Ray and Henry, who are heading out towards the crew accommodations. Now, when you're in the section where you get dressed and ready and all that stuff, and you start to head out to crew accommodations, the door is entirely sealed. It is not. Your codes are not working. When you place them into the door of the side, you're not really sure. It looks like there's some form of security lockdown. The only way to override that from here would be in the control room.
Looks like we're not getting in through the easy way, Ray.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling about this. Man, Why don't we just, for now, just go back with everybody else? 'Cause this shit is funky.
All right, let's see. Let's just go. Hopefully, things aren't as bad as we think they are. Maybe somebody fell asleep. Maybe it's somebody's birthday this year. You know, this cycle, and it's just a big surprise.
So yeah, so
Maybe.
Brandon and Otto, this is the conversation they're having as they walk back out of that room, and you have been checking on this thing. I need you to both roll a I need a medicine check for the pods to read the vitals and vital history. But you immediately, just having medicine, look at the side of each pod, and the vitals are all flatlined. Every single one of the pods. There is someone inside of it, someone that you knew. One of the members of the crew are there. I would like, upon hearing this news, you're all going to roll a keep it together check, please. And a keep it together check is a resilience plus metal. You always have a D8 on your metal during a keep it together check, so you will upgrade that.
So a D8 and what else?
So it's your resilience and your attributes. For each of those, you get a D6 for each point in that. Your metal and skills. For each of those, you get a D8. One. All you need is one.
Yep. Singular success here.
One.
I got 3.
Here you go.
Yep. And one of them was an 8 on my D8.
Wow.
My singular
This is not
success
bothering me at all.
was a single 5 on my D6s. It's the first time my keep it together checks has had more than 3 dice. I had 4, and it's like, no, it's not good.
I got a 3, 5, 5, 1 on my resilience, and a 6 on my metal.
That's 4 successes.
Yeah, it's 4 successes. That is a phenomenal success. You are like what you know. You're like you kind of expected to hear the news that they were dead. Otherwise, they would have gotten up. You'd steeled yourself for it, and you just kind of sigh and go, what am I going to do about it? We got to figure stuff. You know, you're kind of like focused on other things. It doesn't get to you that heavily. But I think all of you, while you're able to handle it, are still like definitely feel a little more apprehensive about
So
your
we have
situation.
we have some decisions to make here.
At least it was peaceful. They were asleep.
Do we leave them here, or do we give them a burial, aka I assume there's an incinerator on for bodies.
The way that they are, the way that it was supposed to be handled is if someone were to die within a rotation, they have alternates, and then they would get put back in their capsule and just frozen for the remainder of the trip, so that their loved ones could.
So that is
handle
their
that.
intended resting place.
Yes,
we don't
that
have a
is their-
decision to make. Go about your business.
Yeah. Now you haven't really delved too deep into the thing. You may make some checks on these pods to.
I was going to see if there's a way I could find out when they flatlined.
There you go. You may make a medicine check, please, using, we're going to call this intuition plus, we're kind of wit, and then your medicine is effective here.
Vision, wit, and medicine. So my medicine specialization is in psychology.
Yeah, that the specialization would not affect here, but you still get D8s on your roll. You know.
On the entire thing. I'm sorry that.
I know, just on the skills.
Okay.
You don't get the double successes for aids because psychology has nothing to do with this action.
Okay, I see what you mean. That's where specializations have changed since my last time. So, vision and wit. I got 4 successes.
Oh, damn. Okay. So you find pretty quickly the vital history on the first pod shows that they died 52 years ago. As you move to the next pod, And the third and fourth, you find pretty quickly that this happened to everyone in this crew simultaneously a little over 52 years ago.
But they died 4 years before we were supposed to wake up. Huh.
It's gonna be math later.
And you, the four of you, for some reason, are not dead. It would take the control room to be able to find out the rest of the status on the other crew pods. But the ones that are on the floor here are all flatlined and all showing 52 years ago.
Well, I do think that we have a clear mission now. At the very least, a next destination. We were on our way to crew accommodations and the door was sealed. There's no getting anywhere.
Yeah, we're gonna need control room for that, eh?
Man, see, it was a good thing we did come back. Now everybody can go.
Fuck yeah. Let's go.
Cool.
Yep.
So, heading to the control room. The stasis control room kind of sits above the thawing chamber. So when you enter this room, you're going up a set of stairs that kind of leads up towards like kind of the side or back of or it's the middle of the room, but towards the back of it on this railed stairway. And as you get to the thing, the control room looks like it normally does. Terminals everywhere. All of them seem to be lit up and functioning. As you kind of like poke your head around, there's just no personnel. And as you all kind of wander in the room to look around, you do end up seeing on the ground in the mid, like leaning up against the middle console, is the body of one of the crew.
Oh no.
In the same jumpsuit.
Immediately run to check their pulse.
They are dead. Absolutely dead. You get no pulse, nothing. Though you don't know how long they've been dead. They don't look that old. They look like they're probably in their 30s or 40s, and you know, this has been a long time. They also seem perfectly preserved, like no deterioration whatsoever. The skin of the body, it is mottled gray, like a dead body normally would be.
Is it cold?
Yeah, it's absolutely cold, but not.
I mean,
cold.
like
Not cold, not that cold, not like
Okay.
frozen cold. I mean, like life support seems to be keeping it at the general like 68 degrees that you normally keep it at in here. So like, as far as you know, it should have broken down. But it has not. You can hook
he's
him
gone.
up to a medical scanner of some sort to get bio readings that are saved in the implants at some point. Is something you could do. However, on his chest, there is a tag that says Yost. Yeost. This is Crewman Yost.
Crewman Yost. You said they were medical.
You don't know what they are. You don't know this person. You've never no, this is not someone that normally is there when you wake up. This is from other crews, another crew entirely.
So they
I
shouldn't even be here. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was gonna go with, do I happen to maybe possibly remember from? But that's like it's whatever they are, they're dead. So I don't think they're much use to
They
us.
are very dead.
Well, fuck.
Is their ID thing something I can like take, like just in case?
It's not an
They're-
ID. It's more like it's a patch on their like suit. You all have this patch too. You just haven't gotten your like individual things. That just shows your kind of like name tag or whatever. It's standard. So you could take it and put it on you if you want to, and just call yourself Yost. But
No. I meant like just in case like his body does deteriorate and we can't like we have something to be like look like we lost Yost, like a
Yeah, you
dog
can
tag
take-
situation.
I mean, you could take the this Velcroed on the chest if you want to take the
Yeah,
thing off.
that's
You
what I'm
totally
gonna-
can do that.
I'm gonna put that in my.
And you're
Whoa.
so
Why
what
don't
are
we
we-
just go throw him in one of the extra pods so
One of our pods.
he doesn't rot here eventually?
All right. Do any of you know how to work any of this shit?
Would I remember?
any,
Kinda.
yeah. Anybody with technology would.
I have
Yeah.
technology.
So technology would allow you to.
I have biotech.
Yeah.
So-
So both of you can work on the control room together in tandem if the other two want to go take this.
I'm gonna go grab a wheelchair and take this guy to one of our cryopods.
Well,
That-
I got
Let's you and I take care of the control room, and by our powers combined,
Yeah. What you got, Ray?
I got mechanics, so
Okay. So you're You would be able to
Oh.
like mess with the pods. You'd be able to do, any kind of like repair thing that you would need to do
Real
if something
quick,
is busted.
Before I go get if I run his pockets, is there anything in there?
Absolutely.
You know, we were all avoiding it due to respect for the corpse. It's like, it's our crewmate.
I'm
I
a
didn't even
doctor.
think about that.
Alright.
You guys are just monsters.
Searching his body turns up an info pad, a
there
white
was
level key card, a pocket, and a pocket that contains 3 stems. These are stems. If you use a stem, you may increase the maximum seconds spent in a single round to 12. You may spend up to 12 seconds in one round if you inject yourself with a stem.
That's a lot.
You guys want to vote on save these for later?
Yeah,
I don't think there's a vote needed. We just
you never
we're
know.
gonna need them.
Yeah. I mean, there's only 3 of them. I just figured we'd
It's-
wait
you
to
can
see.
You can skip me. Don't worry about it. You guys can take one each. I'm needles and I. Nah.
I'll try and find a bag when I go find a wheelchair too, so we can carry this shit around. And I like put those on the table, along with a key card and everything else.
I'm so itchy today.
Cryo sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Imagine having an itch on the back of your neck for
Paralysis
how long?
for 48 years.
All right. So the info pad was what I was talking about. It's basically a little like it's like an L-shaped thing with that you can hold, hit a button, and a little like holographic display comes up that you can fiddle with and look at. This is his personal info pad. Your info pads, by the way, are in your personal effects lockers that are in the crew like accommodations areas.
Is that not where we went to go get our suits and stuff?
No, you went to a anteroom that leads into that area, but that area itself has been locked off.
I apologize.
So just so I have it clear again, did we smack the person inside the pod and the rest? We split up here again, or we didn't
No,
just
well, I mean,
do that real quick?
Yeah, you two up there and they're down there. So Otto and Ray have brought. Ray, you were bringing the body down with him.
No,
This
I
is
was
that.
helping. I was helping him fix the in the control room. I was helping him.
Oh, you're doing the control room stuff. Okay.
I think they're all 3 efficient in mechanics, if I got that correct.
No,
right?
2 are technology, 1's mechanics. Mechanics is if they have something broken and needs to be repaired. That would be where you would need to fix here. So mechanics here would be, yeah, if they have any issues, then you'll be able to kind of shore them up. The 3
As of
up
right
there,
now, I'm thinking that like some sickness happened that everybody died. I'm fine going alone to get a wheelchair and letting them, because I don't know the technology aspect of it. I have no hand in.
yeah.
So I do
but
not
you-
mind going getting a wheelchair and coming back and getting the body and taking it into a cryo.
Right, and you can also plug it into the cryo bed and kind of do a medical thing if
Sweet.
you'd like to. So, Brandon, Henry, and Ray. Henry and Brandon, I need you both to roll technology rolls. Ray, you may assist them with, it would be all of you would be acumen plus wit on this technology roll. You can assist them, Ray, but you would only roll d6s in the whole thing if you don't have technology.
Okay.
So,
Acumen and wit. That's one of these, and then 4 of these.
So I'm just rolling up in D6s.
mm-hmm.
And success is what?
5 up.
Okay.
All right.
3.
2, 3.
2 successes.
You've all been trained extensively in this ship, and between the 3 of you, you are capable of like cracking pretty much everything you need to know. You find
4.
you got 4, so 4. So the way this works is all of you combine your totals. You have a phenomenal success. So between the 3 of you, you phenomenally succeed, and you have cracked every bit of information you can get out of this roll. Stasis pod systems for the crew are all functioning properly and showing. Oh wait, that was the wrong one. The control room has full communication with the 10 different crew rotations. The pods of crew 6 are all empty. Every other pod is showing same as the rest of your unfortunate crewmates, deceased for over 52 years. The terminal is not able to connect with any of the colony pods or any other section of the ship. It is only able to directly do this room. So you are dark outside of this room. You have no clue what is going on. You do show that. There we go. It was also 52 years, I think.
I have one key question before we move on.
Yes.
What's the ship's name?
Endeavor.
Endeavor. Because I would feel really weird to refer to it as the ship. Seculum, secularum.
Yes. So the 60. So yeah, there you go. And you also find. There it goes. Okay. You also find some very strange logs kind of left behind within some of these systems as you're looking at like the intra-ship communication and things like that. And it seems that like a lot of it has just been straight deleted out of there. There's massive gaps. Sometimes you just get like a normal email and then it's like no one communicated with each other for almost a year and a half. And then you'll get the errant sort of, communication that you're looking through in the tech room. And Otto, you were down there on trying to plug him back up, and you successfully do so. The wheelchair you get actually is, it's half a G, so it actually like it hovers, sort of thing. It has its own.
When I go get the wheelchair, and I'm looking for a bag to carry that shit we found in his. Are there any like?
You have pockets on your like.
I understand. Are there like medical supplies, maybe like antibiotics, things around that? Because I don't know what hurt these other people.
In the nurses' station, there would be, which you haven't been into yet.
Where am I getting these wheelchairs from?
They're actually arrayed in this room because they're used for each of the pods. So.
Okay, never mind. Cool.
But there's like a nurse's anteroom. This is where a lot of the supplies and stuff will be kept for emergencies, as they're coming out. So you get him downstairs and you do plug him up. And as you do, you go through the vitals as it's like it starts to download his information into the stuff, and you find that roughly he also died a little over 52 years ago, same time as the rest of the crew. And he died in according to the sensors at that point, he died in the crew accommodations lab, but somehow was found up here when you did so.
He died in the crew accommodations lab that is right now locked.
Mm-hmm. And he found him upstairs in the control room. As you kind of do like a preliminary kind of like physical medical check and you open his eyes are entirely black. Both of them. There's no white in his eyes. It is like his pupil.
They are present. They are just black balls.
Yeah. Just black eyes.
What if I open his mouth? Anything?
You don't make a medical check.
Which is just intuition wit.
Mm-hmm. Intuition wit and D8s on the wit. So.
Two.
Yeah. 2?
Yeah, 2 successes.
All right, so you got 2 successes, and you find that he died of neurological failure 52 years ago. And what you're seeing in the initial scans and what you're reading back, you're not a neurologist, you know what I mean? But what you're seeing in your initial scans and things is that it just seems that something sort of attacked his entire nervous system.
All right. Is there another way to use this machine to dive further into any information, or is that pretty much all I can get from this?
That's all you feel that you're going to get from this. There's other information that you've gotten. You're just not entirely sure how to parse it out.
All right. Well, I'm going to close the cryo chamber, and I'm just going to put my hand on the glass and just take a second and just take a moment of silence and then head back to the crew.
Okay. All right, so you head back up there with the news, and by the way, the three of you also unlocked the doors. I forgot to tell you that. That was my bad.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're able to the control room has unlocked and unsealed the doors from the outside, so you're good to go.
We'll wait till the doc get back before we go check everything out.
Okay.
So I walk in and I'm just like, okay, so something definitely fucking bizarre is going on. All of those pods, right, we saw died 52 years ago. That body that was not decrepit at all also died 52 years ago. Around the same time. I mean, did I get like an exact date, or was it like a?
It seems that, as far as you can tell, everybody died at around the exact same time.
Also, he died in the accommodations room, not in this room where we found him. So something not only found his dead body, but moved his dead body. So there's a decent reason to believe that somebody is still around.
Consequently, maybe not something found his dead body and moved it. Maybe something killed him and moved him.
I was trying to avoid, jumping to that conclusion. I mean,
So you saw no wounds that you could tell were looking like he was attacked in any way within the examination.
There was no blood. It seemed like something attacked his nervous system. And though I don't know of anything that does something like that, we are in space. And we're confined with a bunch of other humans, and there's a good chance some virus broke out or something and hurt all of these people.
Well, that or someone didn't take care of the water recycling correctly and allowed the water to get infested with amoebas. And once those get into your brain and cross the blood-brain barrier, you're screwed. You can't do anything about it. So
let's not look for someone with a knife just yet. There may be survivors here that are very sick. I would suggest wearing some sort of mask or something. If you have any sort of political idea about that, fuck you.
So, also, this room, the control room, is connected to the bridge of the station as well. Or the ship. So you can head to where the captain's quarters is. However, it is showing locked, and you were unable to figure out how to unlock it.
Well,
It seems to be a higher security clearance than whatever set off the initial lock.
I do want to find out something. Since we are late and whatever, if we're in control, I want to find out if we're on course, where we are, where we're headed.
Great
Because
question.
we're drifting, and we've been drifting for 48 years. 48 years in space seems like it's a really bad turn.
I didn't even consider that shit.
So I want to go like we
we
have.
could be heading towards the star that I don't want to head towards.
well,
we-
okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ray.
Well, no, I'm just saying, why don't you two stay and do what you can do? And Doc, I'm going to listen to you. So you said we need to wear masks. Why don't we need to go find some, okay?
I think that what we should all do is go get our own data pads and go get our own equipment from the accommodations room now that it's unlocked. I'm sure we can find masks there or in one of the nurses' stations around. Also, maybe something antibiotic-wise in case we find some of these people and we can help them. If you don't know how to administer these kind of shots, or I guess it'd be like a hydraulic shot at this point, probably, right? If you don't know how to administer these stems, then let me know. I'll show you what I can. It's very simple.
Put it in a board.
Everybody knows how to administer everything because it's all done through your bio nodes on the wrist.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
everything injectable is done there or in the back of your neck for specific medical things. But the reason you have these ports is because medicine in space is complicated, and this just makes it easier for everybody kind of to handle it.
Well, but
So-
I'll if anybody's uncomfortable doing it, let me know. I won't give them
Just
to you.
like peeing in space. You don't just go to the bathroom.
Well, you actually have enough gravity.
I'm glad
have
you
enough gravity
elaborated.
to actually pee kind of properly here because you have you're operating at a half a G at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
left at that.
I just didn't want to talk about it. Okay.
Oh my god.
So,
All right.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, are you heading to the crew
Accommodations
area? That's where the crew accommodations area includes the mess hall. It includes the rec area, exercise area, and the crew quarters. And you rotate. There's 20 crew quarters in there. The captain, of course, getting the biggest one, and you all rotate in and out the same way. So you share the same room every time. You know who you're following normally.
So if I wanted to determine like our trajectory or our location, would that be here in control or somewhere else?
You would need to do that from the bridge.
All right.
And
the
yeah.
bridge is the place locked off. All right. So
Right now it's locked off, but yeah, you're gonna go. Yeah.
Speaking
Alright.
of mess hall, I could also use a meal. I haven't put anything in my face in 163 years. I could
Wait,
definitely use some food.
That was my original plan. Remember?
Mhm.
Well,
Fuck
Yep.
yes, let's do that.
let's go.
Yeah, you are all very hungry. Your stomachs
Boom,
are
boom,
a
belly
level
crew.
of- yeah.
Nothing
So you head out
says-
towards. You head back down the stairs, and as you open the door and walk out, there, standing in front of you, is crewman Yost. He is
Oh, no.
looking at you, his eyes open, just straight black eyeballs, staring at you, and he almost has a puzzled expression on his face. It says, "Why did you not join us?"
Man,
Where
who the
did you
fuck-
go?
Who the fuck are you?
Can I try and talk him into the? You need to sit down. What are you doing?
What? He dead?
Whatever has happened, the blush of life is back upon his skin. He is his normal. He was already kind of olive complexioned in the first place. It is he is alive. He is breathing. Blood is pumping in his body. He looks like just the only difference is his black eyeballs entirely. And he stares at each of you and says, "There was no death. I was beyond. You should join us. Why are
Can I
you
try to
here?"
figure out if he's all there?
You can make a medical psychology check.
That would be intuition and wit, but it would be every 8 is a double.
Yep.
Okay.
I think intuition and wit work best on this one. So
My brain is very simple. He was dead. Now he's not.
actually, you know what? We're gonna call it intuition and empathy, Logan.
Okay, and the next question: can we all see his black eyes?
Same roll.
Every one of you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Do you wonder if he okay? Come on, man.
Yeah. So as
You
you're,
know, I
you kinda-
recall some amoeba infections causing shit like this.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just a virus.
Yeah, so
And-
basically what has happened is you're kind of you throw him a couple probing questions to kind of get a gauge, and he does not react as a person necessarily would. He just continues to speak of the beyond and confusion as to why you did not join, and tells
What are
you
we-
that you need to let go and join now.
What are we joining? Is there a membership fee?
We are, and he again looks puzzled by your question, and he says, "You must join now. You have no choice."
Last I checked, this was Space America, and I do have a choice. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, no, no.
I need everybody to roll everybody right now needs to roll a resilience plus metal check. It is not a keep it together check. It is just a sort of a mental.
Psychology help me with this.
We'll call it a keep it together check and give everybody a D8 because there's no aptitude for what I'm trying to get you to
Oh,
do.
good. So, if I already rolled, do I get to keep what am I re-rolling? I'm gonna just stick with what I rolled. I'm unlucky like that.
I didn't succeed at all.
I got 3 successes.
I would love to get more than 2 successes on any given roll at any point in my career ever. Have I
2
ever?
successes.
2 successes. You've gotten some phenomenal successes before.
I think so, yeah. They've usually been on mundane things, like I open a door.
I mean, that's how you know you're tabletop gaming.
That's how it usually
Yep.
goes on the mundane stuff. You get like
I've opened the
critical.
shit out of some doors, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
I opened that door so gracefully.
But when you
He
fucking
just-
Aragon, just fucking
Did anyone?
both of them.
Did anyone beat 5?
no,
5 success? No.
Okay, so you don't take any damage, but you feel almost like a connection with Yost. You feel him. It almost feels like he is crawling down your spine, and in your ears, each of you, you start hearing voices. Some of them familiar, kind of whispering back and forth in your ear. So
I'm
yeah,
going to immediately start singing to myself because I'm freaked.
these voices become louder and louder, and these raised voices are going to add 1 minute to your track from your trauma trigger. And they are going to continue with all of you for the remainder of this scene. They just like are whispers. Sometimes it almost sounds like languages sometimes you don't know. Sometimes it sounds like somebody you have met before, but just whispers like at the very corner of your hearing. Sometimes they raise, sometimes they lower, but it becomes a constant for each of you.
You know, I don't know about the rest of you, but I really don't like it, and I'm really creeped out, and he's really scary, and the urge to punch is like rising.
If you
Look. We're all just reacting to a bad situation. It is perfectly natural.
we
why
are
are you still entertaining this shit,
He
man?
was
What?
now we are in a tense situation in which we are now rolling initiative. Just to let you know.
Alrighty then, let's do this.
Now your decisions are going to be made in 10-second increments. So let's see how that goes.
2 and 3. Hey, I actually get. So
That's terrible.
okay, it's 2 of these and 3 of these. All right, I accept my fate. Specifically because I know exactly what my challenge is.
We get a 4 or above.
I'd like to give you a wild guess how many I rolled.
-2.
No, I rolled a 1.
1.
Again.
Yeah, 1
Just,
again.
just the 1.
Anyone get 3 or above? Or 3?
Got 2.
The second you
how
give
many-
me a distress die, I'm
2.
just
Okay.
gonna-
So the 3 of you got 2. The way that ties go here is normally the higher total dice pool of intuition and vigilance would go first, second, or third, or you can decide amongst yourself who is going to go first.
Oh no,
Isn't-
my combined pool is 4.
But yeah, that means you got a 4 versus what's your combined pool? What was your dice pool for that, Otto? 4. What was yours, Brandon?
6.
So Brandon's definitely going first, and then Otto and Ray.
You first, right?
Yeah. Ray's going to be on the jump on that one.
I'm still
And
in
then-
denial.
Crewman Yost is most definitely not going to. What in the world just happened to my screen?
Crewman Yost is going to gently let us go and also just go back to being dead.
There it goes.
No? That's not how the story
Yeah.
goes.
All right. So first up is going to be
Brandon.
Brandon. Henry, you actually go after Crewman Yost. He got a 1, and his pool's way bigger than yours.
So yeah, Brandon's going to try to, even though he has no formal hand-to-hand combat training, he's going to try to grapple Crewman Yost and like restrain him to lock him in a pod or something. I don't know.
Okay. So make that is a brawl check or a hand-to-hand check, which is going to be a strength plus your toughness hand-to-hand if you have it. Wait, I did this backwards again. I'm sorry,
Yep.
everybody. One
okay.
second. I keep D&Ding in my head immediately, and I don't need to be doing that.
Can I ask a question before we go through this?
Yeah.
How close are we to a nurse's station where we're at right now?
You're not that far. Like, you can get there in a round.
Okay. And would I know if nurses' stations have gurney? Is that the word I'm looking for?
The nurse's station would have pretty
That
much
is the word.
they have access to, like, in the station to every, like, drug and possible thing that you would need in
Okay.
this.
That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, sorry, Henry, what are you doing?
I'm kicking the shit out of this person.
All right, I need you to make a hand-to-hand. That's a strength plus toughness, hand-to-hand. We're going to go up next. Otto, what is, he is going, well, you don't know what he's going to do. So, Otto, what are you doing?
I am, can I speak and run?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm running towards the nearest nurse's station, just saying, keep him busy and alive.
Ray, what
What
are you
do
doing?
What do you get?
Sure.
Okay.
Well,
I want you to make a, sorry, Otto, I need you to make a, we're going to go with a coordination plus composure for your sprints there under a trying time. See how well that goes. Ray, what are you
Okay.
doing?
well,
Ray, you'll just announce the action. I'm going to tell you what dice to roll. You're going to hold on to that number, and then when I call you back, we'll narrate the rounds all at once.
I'm gonna help Otto stomp this dude.
Okay. So I need you to
Henry.
do a strength plus toughness. If you have hand-to-hand, you may D8 the toughness. Brandon, what are you doing?
Restraining
So yeah,
crewman
yours.
Yost, yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna do
And I
the
got
same
2
thing.
successes.
All right, so you're at the top of the round, 2 successes. Oh, let me roll his real quick. So you got 2 successes. He got on that dodge. Okay. Ray, what'd you get?
2 success.
Okay, and Henry, what'd you get?
I spent a second to get 2 successes.
Okay.
I was tired of rolling just one singular success every single time.
I'm going to need Henry.
Yes.
I need you to roll a metal check real quick. That's going to be your intuition plus metal.
Intuition is 2 and metal is 2, so hey. Oh, wonderful. That means that is my 1 success on this die, and that auto success is 2.
Sweet.
Did we use Ray's 8 for his first roll from the stream? We didn't.
No, we
Ray,
didn't.
on your next roll, you get a fucking 8-sided die,
Yeah, so you're
no
you
matter
get-
what.
yeah, you get well no, he gets an automatic success, or was it a D8? There's an
It's a
extra D8.
D8. Yeah.
So, so roll another D8, please, Ray. Roll those D6s again, D8s, and then tell me what you got.
What am I rolling?
Whatever your strength was, you rolled that many D6s. This time, roll them as D8s because you got an automatic. Yeah.
Okay. I just get 1, and it is 3.
Okay, so you had the same thing. All right, so the way that this goes down is Brandon dives in to do a grapple as this thing kind of like turns its eyes directly at you, Henry, and you feel a burning sensation completely go down your spine, like from your brain all the way down to your like spinal cord, and like just wrap around your entire nervous system for just a moment. You actually are going to take 3 damage from that.
Joy.
As you are, and this happens as you're kind of kicking into gear to kick at him. Ray, you come at to kick him. Both of you come at to kick at the same time. Ray, you actually clip him a good amount, and you got 1 extra success, and a hand-to-hand is 1 damage. So you do 2 damage to him, kicking him like a good bit in the midsection. But Henry just is so thrown off by the entire thing that he misses entirely. The burning sensation got him. Brandon, your grapple he slides like right out of it. he was able to kind of bounce over to the side. What'd you get, Otto?
3 successes.
You absolutely get to the nurse's station. You're able to like kind of book it over there. And
I'm
you get
grabbing a gurney, and I'm also looking for sedatives.
All right, so that is going to be your next round, is looking for the things.
Cool.
All right, so top of the next round, Henry, what are you doing this turn after being soul burned?
Like I don't want to keep being burned. And crewman Yost here is burning me, so I would like to proceed with the action of kicking in the general direction of crewman Yost.
Yeah, you go right ahead and do the same roll for your kicking. Ray, what are you doing? You got a good chunk of his gut last time with the kick, but...
Yeah, I would go for his nuts, but I honestly don't think that's going to do anything. So I'm going to try punching this guy.
All right, so same roll, strength plus toughness, hand if you got it. Oh, sorry, Otto, you do your search roll. I already told you what you were.
Yeah.
It's D6
Would that-
though, right?
If you don't have hand to hand, your skill dice are d6s. Yes.
Would that be intuition, wit? I also have investigation as in.
No, that is, to search is going to be. We're going to call it in this moment coordination plus composure.
Okay.
And your medicine is going to help you here because you understand how these things are organized, what they look like. You know what you're looking for, so you will get to d8s. And then Brandon, what are you doing?
Brandon's just gonna go back at restraining. So.
All right, try to grapple. Same roll,
Yep.
please. And
Strength. Next that spot.
I need Henry to roll another of those metal checks, please.
Oh no. Okay, hang on a second.
And I got
All right. When I call your name, I will give me 1 second. So this is me. So that's.
It was metal, just metal or metal resilience?
It's resilience metal. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Please.
Actually, you know what we need to call this? This needs to be the intuition metal for what it's doing. So do intuition and metal.
It's the same amount of dice.
That's fine with me. Yeah.
I will, however, roll. I'm gonna spend 2 seconds because I got 0 successes and I don't like that. So let's spend some seconds here.
All right, what'd you get, Brandon?
I spent 2 seconds to add a d8. Didn't really help. I got 1 success.
Okay.
I got 0 successes even after spending seconds. So yours truly.
Yeah, Ray, what'd you get?
3.
3. Huh.
Bad
Okay.
magnet kicking in.
Yeah, bad magnet definitely kicking in. So Brandon, you still are trying to get like its arms down or grappled or something, but for some reason you're just not sure. Like whatever you do, it just seems to slip out of your hold. At the same time as like Henry coming at it with another kick, right?
Yeah. For whatever that counted, that was 3 successes. If I'm still.
You're fine. So basically, this time, as you're trying to grapple, both Ray and Henry, like Ray cracks him in the mouth at the same time as Henry cuts him in the gut. But as soon as your foot has hit him, you feel the same burning sensation all over your body. 6 damage on that one.
God damn!
1,
Ouch.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That leaves me with a total of 3, folks.
How? You've only taken...
I told you guys to
3
keep him alive.
and 6.
I'm leaving. I'm gone.
No,
I just left.
yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. 3 and 6.
3
You took
plus
3
6
last
is-
time. You took 3 last time. I thought you took 2.
No.
Ow. Yeah, you're in a lot of trouble. That is burning down. However, fortunately for you, the two of you did quite a number to him. You see him kind of like keel back. He bounces a bit into you, Brandon, as he falls back and he stumbles a bit, catching himself like on the pod that he's next to and pulling himself upright, but he's definitely not he's definitely a little woozy on his feet. And what'd you get, Otto?
Yeah, 5 successes.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you walk in there, you grab the gurney, you in fact go ahead and throw on one of the doctor coats that are just hanging up in there.
Fuck yeah.
At the same time, you start filling the pockets. You grab, what were you looking for medicine-wise?
Sedatives. Something to knock this fucker out.
You end up finding the paralytic.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you head back out of the nurse's station to see him like kind of woozily facing off against all three of them.
I'm going to set the gurney at knee height.
Cool. And you got that. And Henry, what is your choice?
What was my what?
What is your next action, please?
My next action is I honestly am debating whether to run the fuck away and not die within the very first combat or actually kick this guy. Like, is he on the floor?
No, he's not on the ground. His knees are not as steady as they were a moment ago. Let's put it that way.
All right. I am going to do what is called a tactical retreat. I am in pain. I am hurting. My brain hurts so much. I can't think straight. I'm just gonna yeet myself in a general direction away from crewman Yost's line of sight. I'll hide behind a desk, hide behind a door, whatever. My current action is get away from Yost and hide.
Yeah, definitely. You are going to make a intuition plus reaction roll with you can do stealth or larceny. Wait, larceny's both.
I don't have either of
you
those.
You don't have either. It wouldn't matter. Yeah. So that'll be your roll on that one. We're going up to next to Otto. What are you doing?
I actually think it's Brandon first.
No.
It's you're right. You're right. Yeah. I'm going. So like nobody is in between me and him, right?
You can get to him this round, yeah. If you want to jump on him or whatever.
Well, I'm just saying, if I were to ram this thing into the back of his knees and try to get him to like lay down on the gurney, would I run into any of my teammates?
You could probably make a straight line there to crack him.
That's what I'm going to try and do.
But you'd hit him from the side, not the back.
Good enough.
Yeah. So I would like you to make a coordination plus. We're gonna call it a toughness.
Okay, I'm also going to can I yell while I do this? Get him on there, like to let everybody know what the plan is, or is that too much for an action?
Well, you could do that, but it would be next round that would trigger because they are technically going ahead of you. So the next round they could react to what you're saying within this narrative, block.
Well, I thought that was the point of
actions are happening at the exact same moment. So you choose what your actions are before the rolls happen, and then it all goes off for 10 seconds.
Well, I understand that. I thought the point of initiative picking last is them reacting to whatever. So wouldn't it be everybody with initiative higher than me would be able to react to me yelling, and everybody with initiative lower with me wouldn't be able to?
No, because they still go before you, in the actual initiative order.
Okay.
The purpose is to be able to.
That tracks. No, that makes sense. I would have had it in that last turn. That makes sense. Yeah. My apologies. All right. Yeah. Then I'm just gonna ram him.
It allows them to make. They may be able to see it and make the action, but it's the reason you're saying it in reverse order is so that I can track it when I'm doing.
Okay.
When I'm resolving it in a better way.
I was a little confused. Thank you.
Got it. So next would be Ray. What are you doing?
Hey, if he's still woozy, I'm going to give him a good night kiss to the face, dude.
You got it.
Straight shot.
All right. So
strength and toughness.
You got it. Strength and toughness, and then go ahead and roll that, Brandon. Try the grapple again, or I think it's something else.
So, narratively, I'd probably see out of the corner of my eye Otto coming out of the nurse's station with the gurney.
You see, yeah, everybody, you've seen him
already knowing, right?
You don't necessarily know.
I know what the plan is.
The gurney, but you have an idea that the gurney is meant to restrain him because there are restraints on the gurney. So, grappling him is still probably the saying it. Yeah, trying to get him down.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
No way. Here's how
keep
this
on with the grappling.
Here's how this would work in this, Logan. So if Brandon's grapple is successful, right? then their grapple would tie into what you are doing. And they would see what I'm saying? Like, it would all kind of flow in together, and I'm fine with that. But your, I didn't give you your roll beyond, did I? I said you could use medical on your roll, by the way, didn't I, Otto?
No, because I'm just ramming him. You told me to use coordination.
Yeah,
and
but what I'm saying is I'm going to let you use medical since you know how to use a gurney. And
so my
restrain
toughness
patients.
would be a D8.
Yeah, you can D8 your toughness. I meant to tell you that
cool.
earlier. And I
Thank
forgot.
you.
All right, Brandon, go ahead and roll yours. And Henry, what'd you get on your roll?
I got 2 to hide, scared like a small, frightened animal.
All right, Ray, what'd you get on your roll?
Oh, I finally got nothing.
Some bitch. All right, and Brandon, what'd you get on your roll?
I'm with Ray. Not a damn.
Not a damn thing, huh?
Damn.
Dang
What'd
it,
you
I'm
roll?
so glad I hid.
You know what? Let me spend some time here. I'm gonna go ahead and can I spend 3 for 3 rerolls?
Go ahead.
Okay. 5. Come on, baby. Okay, that's 1. 2. All right, got 2 successes.
2 successes, eh? All right. So this time, Brandon, you're able to get a good kind of like grip around one of his arms and his neck. As this happens, Ray's fist kind of like barely connects, but does enough to sort of like knock him wobbly. Zeros, if you do, he did not dodge any, Ray, on your roll, so you rolling no successes was still a success. Zeros always count as a success, so you just do 1 damage to him. But that's what happened. You get a good like glancing blow across his chin a little bit as he's being grappled, and at the same time, Otto takes this thing down and rams him into the like back of this. So Brandon and Otto have like pulled him down as he's looking over at Ray, and you, Ray, need to make a intuition plus metal check this time.
Meanwhile, Henry heroically hides behind the desk.
As well you should.
And D6 and a D8 or 2 D6s?
It is you're getting a D8 on this, so yeah, your defense is a D8.
Can I just say this is a tougher first fight than the zombie moose?
1.
Yep.
You're a 5th hour though, so
Yep.
1. What?
1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think any of us ever picked a combat specialist.
You actually, as he's thrown down on the gurney, you feel the same burning sensation down your spine I described for Henry. You take 3 damage off of this. It seems to run up and down your spine, through your brain, and through all the nerve endings for just a few seconds. Just absolute fiery pain.
Oh, I turned away quickly.
Yeah, you take 3 damage, but he is now down on a gurney and he is restrained. The way that he is restrained is, I'm going to say the 2 of you can kind of wrap him up this round, so long as he does not break your grapple. However, he is still...
Before I even try to restrain him, though, I'm hitting him with that sedative, and the first place I know will go to him as fast as possible.
Well, that'll be your action. So,
My
Henry,
bad.
what is your action? You successfully hid. He basically... you dove into a different pod room, and you see this gurney kind of like go right by you with him on top. And right now, in front of you, you see Brandon and Otto kind of like holding him down on this gurney, and you're kind of like hiding and looking up at them. So what do you do?
What can I do to not endanger myself? I don't know. Okay, like I think like this is comedic, but it also like depends on what I'm wearing. But if I throw my shoe at him, like from the safety of behind the desk, and he's restrained, if I hit him in the head with a, I don't know what kind of shoes we're wearing. Are we wearing heavy?
No,
Are you gonna throw a chancla at him?
you were wearing mag boots, is what you were wearing.
You're firebolting while your teammates are around the enemy.
Because my concern is, I leave here, I die. So
yeah. No, you're wearing mag boots, like they connect to the ground like magnetically in order to keep you like, because you're still in a half a G. It's a little more dangerous than walking around like normal. You can deactivate that and throw a boot, but it takes a moment to take those fuckers off.
Yeah, I'll we're in control. What can I do possibly?
You're not in control. You walk back down. You're back in the pod area. You walk downstairs.
Oh, back in the pod area.
Yeah.
Right. Can I hold? Is it? This is a D&D thing, but can I hold an action, or is that not a thing?
You can, not really. We don't hold actions. You can if you're earlier in your last though. So like, you can't really like.
So like, I'll just, if I'm last, I will, let's do it. Berserk. Just in case everybody else misses, I'm declaring my action to just, he's tied up, I'm gonna punch him in the face, and if I miss, I die. Like, let's go.
Yeah, you may do that. If something doesn't happen, I will do this, and you can like hold your action. So what we're gonna do is for that and we're gonna call that intuition plus, and you're trying to hit him.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to punch it. Like, if everybody else can't get him to go night-night, then I will be the last resort.
We're called the intuition toughness.
Yeah, I will be the emergency NyQuil. Let's see here. Intuition toughness. That is.
Otto, yours is you're trying to inject him. So
yeah, I guess the neck would probably be the best, like the fastest.
Yeah, yours is going to be coordination plus. We're gonna call it manipulation. Oh wait, that's mental manipulation, really more than anything. So coordination plus composure is what we're going to call this, with medicine as the correct thing. Ray, what are you doing after that thing burned you? It's now sitting on a gurney being grappled like right next to you.
Well, he's hurting right now, but more than likely, yeah, he didn't got mad. So if they're holding him, yeah, he's gonna on his
drop the bow.
Yeah.
All right, that's gonna be a strength plus toughness roll. And Brandon, what are you doing?
Hero.
Just continuing to help restrain, or like doing if the gurney has any of the padded restraints.
I want
starting to strap him in.
Yep, I want you to make a grapple check on this. Now I'm just going to let you know you have an automatic success because he is already grappled and you are having assistance in that grapple from Otto. So you get one just bonus success just because it's a little easier for you to do. Now everybody please roll your dice. Otto, I'm going to need you to roll the intuition plus metal check, by the way, and recall that as well. He's attacking your brain this time. Just giving you a heads up.
Okay. All right. Well, keep in mind I have 3 for that other one.
I got you. Yeah. Brandon, what'd you get?
It was. I'm sorry.
Intuition
metal. 3.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. And then what'd you get, Ray?
Oh no.
2.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Like that.
And you got 0 on that other one. It may not matter. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, and Henry, what'd you get?
I got 2 to emergency NyQuil the man.
You got it. Okay, so here's what happens. Brandon, you end up like cinching down and grabbing both ends of the gurney and just basically using your like strength to like hold him there. And as soon as you kind of lock him there, the stair, like you see the stair of this thing go up, and he looks directly back at Otto as Ray drops the elbow directly in the middle of his forehead and knocks him clean out. Whoa! And at that moment, you are Otto. It is easy for you to inject him with the sedative, and he is down.
Take that, motherfucker!
Restraints, extra restraints, more restraints, and then other restraints on top of that.
Put something over his goddamn eyes.
Yes.
Lock him in a pod.
He was in a pod. He got out. There are latches inside the pods.
Right. I forgot. We put him in there.
Yeah. He was in a pod. He opened it and got out.
We're going to figure out what I would like to do is figure out what's going on with him to make sure that it's not something airborne that we have to worry about. We're all wearing masks at this point, right? But I still want to make sure it's not something that's like...
You are not currently wearing masks. You have yet to go to the nurse's stations for that. As soon as you walk downstairs, he was awake. You grabbed sedatives from the nurse station. You can go back and grab those now. Though.
I'm gonna go get us masks, and then we're gonna figure out what's going on with this guy and make sure we're not gonna get in our fucking tear ducts and shit. And that's just clinically speaking. Whatever. Does anybody else have any ideas?
I do.
Stay the fuck away from people that look like him.
Other than being in general pain, screaming my butt, like I am in hurt. So,
Yeah,
like,
whatever he did to you, he did to me. Yeah, I feel you.
Did I ever get hurt from that, Gavin?
No, he was knocked out before he was able to have it come off.
Motherfucker
You're welcome.
dropped his ass.
So,
My man, thank you.
my idea, I don't know if we have time for it though, but that could be for further. First off is get healed, because I'm in pain, and I don't like pain. And second off, I wanted to use my dread manifestation, but again, I think that is a next session kind of idea, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's up to you.
Because the whole thing was getting to the bridge, right?
Yeah, I mean, getting the bridge is what you would like to do.
And the bridge is linked to a place I've been before as a navigator.
You absolutely have been to the bridge before. If you would like to get to the bridge, you could totally do that literally right now.
When you said something about getting healed up, I go, when I go get masks, come with me to the nurse station. I'll do what I can. I can't heal everything, but I can do, what little I know.
I think getting healed first takes a priority, because if we find any more Yosts around, then...
Especially if you can't open that door on the other side.
Oh no, like that doesn't sound like a great idea, especially since all he did was look at me, and my spine feels like mush.
Yeah. Like what are you, Ryan Gosling? Come on.
Yes, Brandon.
Papa, if I understand my choices correctly, being a skeptic adds an extra minute every time I use a dread manifestation. Using a third hour would then cost me 3 minutes, which would put me at 1 distress die?
Yeah, if you have...
Okay.
That would be 3 total minutes. If you have 3 total minutes, that's 1 distress die.
Okay. So I just walk by Henry and pat him on his brain port. Like, kind of do this smack upside the back of the head. And give him back 4.
Okay. Yeah, you are... you spend you get an extra minute there. But just Brandon, like, kind of like putting their hand, like smacking you. For some reason, it just feels like it knocks something loose. Like the burning sensation feels like more of a faded memory instead of an immediate one. And
hit the restart button.
Yeah, you feel just a bit better off.
Ding, 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 ding.
Great work. All right. And so, what do y'all decide to do now?
I want one out of.
Let's all head together, because I think that going anywhere alone at this point is bad. Let's go over to the medical bay. However, the idea is in my head. Are we aware of each other? We've worked for 20 years. Are we aware of each other's, dread manifestations, or is that a thing?
That is entirely up to you. It's not something you necessarily have to share with others. However, I would imagine if you say yes, it's not going to be that strange. You, at this point, at 5th hour, have run into numerous touched in your lives.
Then I would assume. Then
yeah.
Together, though? That would be the difference.
The touched are almost always driven together, right? Like, you just meet them all the time. And often, like, at 5th hour, this means you've been dealing with shit for a long time. And escaping the planet might have been a way that you thought that you could escape these issues that you keep running into.
Then in retrospect, crewman Yost shouldn't have been the weirdest thing we've run into.
No, crewman Yost is by far the weirdest thing you've ever run into. You run into other dread stuff and strange things, but this is like
new.
You've never seen anything like Yost before. Yost is an entirely new problem that you dealt with.
Well, I would like to communicate, so I can probably get to the bridge, but I don't know how safe it is going to be if I get there. We can find out where we are, where we've been, and where we're headed. But if the bridge is locked up and we run into anything more dangerous than him, like, we need to be ready to fight or to get back. I can bring people with me, but that would either leave one of us or 2 of us alone. or I can go alone, but I barely could stare this guy in the face without turning
Well,
into mush.
Well, that's
How
why.
about-
Go ahead.
Well, no. How about you take me and I turn invisible, so when you pop up and it just looks like you're by yourself. If there's anybody there, I could jump.
Can we get weapons?
But you do know that weapons exist on the ship. They are locked up in security, in like the security area, and are
How
only.
out does that guy seem that we were just fighting?
I mean, he seems knocked the fuck out.
With the sedative and everything, he's just done, right?
You don't. You need to hook him up to some medical equipment to know for sure. But
Can we turn him over so like he's at least face down on the floor, knocked out? And
Oh,
in the
he's-
most
he's strapped
inconvenient
in.
Position.
and
And-
what you grabbed, by the way, is the paralytic, and
And I,
So-
and
Do
we
you have an
covered his
extra?
eye. We covered
Yeah.
his eyes too.
You
you
said
couldn't see shit.
you said I had how many? I grabbed
You grabbed 4, so you used 1.
4. I have 3 of these. Did I grab all of the ones that were in the nurse station?
No, there's more.
If we go back to the nurse station, this is just as good as a weapon if we can get close enough and put it in their neck. They're gonna
Alright.
look at him, and I grab his arm and throw it up and like drop it. Like he's
Alright.
done. He's not.
Okay. Yo, give me a couple of those then.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna give one to everybody except for myself and say I'm gonna go to the nurse's station. I'm gonna get masks. I'm gonna get more of these, and then we can figure out what we want to do after that.
Sounds
Yeah.
good to
So I
me.
mean, you can just grab that stuff. That's done. And you can make your decisions on how you want to go now. You do know that the way is open towards the crew accommodations, and the nurse's station is open. It's just right now you can't get to the bridge.
Well,
Have it. Go on.
no. We technically can. It's just not the safest.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Where have I been going? I haven't been going to the nurse's stations. I'm confused.
You've been going to the nurse's station. The infirmary is different. Like
Oh,
it's
okay.
connected on the other side of the. So basically, like where you're at connects to the nurse's station, which leads to the infirmary, and then the other side goes to the crew area, and then the crew area and the infirmary are connected, or the mess hall and the infirmary medical area are both connected to like the bio stuff that Brandon deals with, which is like food production, air recycling, things of that nature, the life support and needs of crew of the ship. And then at the very back end of the ship is engineering, which is a long way to travel. Right now, you have no sensors anywhere outside of where you're at, so you don't know what's going on in any place.
So while we're like putting masks on, I go like, we need to decide what we want to do with that.
Yeah.
And
you
go ahead.
think you can look at me, man? Because he kind of hurt me a little bit too.
Oh, for sure. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
medicine on him.
Yeah. So you go ahead and make a medicine check on him to kind of give him.
Intuition wit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, priest of man. I might be wrong, but Dave, don't let these things look at you straight in the eyes.
3 successes.
Okay, so you realize that like after like a few moments, you're like this thing seems to attack nervous systems. So you actually end up going to the nurse station and grabbing like making a quick little cocktail of like sedatives and stuff that's meant to like kind of just take. It's like a pain relieving type thing, and what it does after it courses through. You got how many successes?
3.
You take 3 health back. Right.
Can I make several rolls to make a lot of these for later?
Not currently. No. I mean, it's
Okay.
gonna. You can do stuff like that at a certain point. You could actually, that you through the equipment that's in the medical bay, you can have it just mix it for you. Right.
So- We need to find objectives, and we need to figure out what we want to do with this guy, and we need to figure out. I would like to, figure out what's going on with him and find out if we're having some sort of airborne or, water-based virus that's taking these people down.
Well,
And-
that's my department, and has been all the 20 years we've been on this ship together. So Yeah, let's get out of med and start getting our way over to bio. On our way to bio, stop off at the calf, pick up some snacks.
And some weapons, please.
I am hungered, and then we'll see about getting into other sections. Maybe we can get into security, and there's a way onto the bridge that might not be blocked. I mean, we don't even know what's blocked any out there.
Well, if we're gonna go to the bridge, why don't we get weapons first?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all on the way.
Do we want to clear a way before we lug him, or do we want to take him the whole time?
I say we leave him very, 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 very far away from me.
Well, and locked up too. And maybe you want to hit him with another fucking set of the two.
How do the doors in this place work? They sliding?
No, we can just lock him in here with the control room.
Technically, you can put him in the pod and set it to just keep
Yeah.
pumping the paralytic into him.
He already got out of a pod.
But
and-
didn't
But we
set it.
didn't hook him up. We
You
just
didn't hook
stuck
him
him
up
in
to
there
the-
because we thought he was dead.
We also know that the paralytic agents are fucked up because they fucked up on us.
They
Well,
stopped.
no.
Well,
We came out of it naturally. Our bodies metabolized it out.
Yeah, that's what you sat there for hours while it metabolized out of your system. It stopped the injection at the right point of coming out of stasis.
Like
Okay.
the machinery's
Flowing.
working.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's
There's no
that's-
people.
All right,
Or,
that's a good
you know,
option.
there's usually some heavy blunt object somewhere around here, which is also a solution.
Well, if the thing ain't working, I can look at it to see if it's working or not.
Oh yeah, definitely you could. But as far as you know, they are working. Even when you're in the control room, y'all got like a phenomenal success. All of the pods that you're with the crew pods are working 100% correctly. They're giving the correct readings. They're doing everything properly. So
Yeah, as far as
Yeah.
I know, they're tip top, man.
yeah,
So go plug him in, restart the cycle, and he'll be frozen in no time and paralyzed, and we don't have to worry about him.
Hopefully.
Is there anything I could do with my base knowledge of psychology and not like real internal? I mean, obviously not saying that that's not real medicine, but not like internal medicine.
yeah.
Is there anything I could gather from this sedated person before I put him into cryogenics?
Now you need to be able to discuss or do something. An unconscious person you can't psychologically evaluate.
That tracks. All right,
Yeah, but
So
he's
so
going
you're
to join us in the darkness.
put him in the freezer, guys.
head into the infirmary next.
Yep.
Okay. So all of you are heading over to the infirmary. You go through the nurse station to open the doors. The infirmary is let me loop down real quick. Sorry. Sitting next to the thawing stations, it boasts a variety of subsections. The main entryway leads into a small intake and triage area for preliminary diagnosis, and this area leads to a hallway with sectioned off hospital beds and lining all the full the right side. And the left side has a doorway into an imaging room containing like nano imaging systems, and another doorway leading into an operating room. At the end of the hall is a double doorway leading to the main physician and surgeon's offices, as well as the exit way back towards bio control. I need a better
Alright.
name for that, to be honest. I just couldn't think of a good one. All right, bio necessity. That's what I called it. Bio necessity section.
That
All
I
right.
don't like that.
Uh,
Bio
yeah.
necessities, Officer Maze Walker.
There you go. And then you're looking at this room is also empty. The lights are on. The terminals seem to be going. The hum of everything correctly. You don't see anything here at this point.
Hello.
Oh God. I stare at Otto. I was like, why would you?
Why, yeah, just go ahead and put a sign on your back and say, hey, we here.
Look, we handled the fucking other guy. It's some sort of sickness. We need to find all the alive people that we can and figure out what's going on. I'm. You guys are acting like we saw a zombie. Like,
Okay, we saw some shit we ain't never seen before. Can you
Yeah.
explain what happened? Can you explain what happened?
Not
Did
without
you
a
know
medical.
what's
not
going
without,
on with these guys?
not without a
Touche,
medical-
man. I mean,
Like,
So-
you're not the
Touche.
one whose insides were burned, sir.
Exactly. They just look at you and they hurt you. That's not normal, man.
So
Like-
yeah, as you come into the intake area, you're continuing to like kind of walk through. There's a upfront intake area where the nurse that would be sitting here would be like talking to, like, if there's an emergency or a patient, kind of having a discussion as to what they need, and then that's what kind of sets off the triage. So as you go to the right hand side, there's a triage area, or you can keep going straight through behind the nurse's station. Both of them lead to the infirmary. It's just different paths to get there. And the triage station is locked. It's like it's a little room, kind of like offset.
I want to dig through some records, log in and start digging through, see if there were any like consistent complaints or any patterns to emerge. Give me
Make a tech-
data.
Make a technology and larceny roll, or technology or larceny roll using acumen and we'll call it intuition plus wit.
there's like a bioscan of the station in this room.
There are scanners. Absolutely, you can go check that station out if you want to. It'd be the same thing. Intuition, wit, and medicine will work on this. Ray, what are you doing as you're getting in here?
I'm going to help Brandon look through the files. Gang, I need to make an intuition with too, right?
Yeah, that'll work. To kind of help out, you can get on another terminal up there. Henry, what are you doing? Like, so Otto, you've got to walk further into the infirmary to get to the station you're looking for. Henry, what are you doing?
I think everybody's got the infirmary like handled. Everybody's in here. Like, there's no immediate threats or whatever. I want to look around like the hallway or whatever it is we're adjoined to, just to make sure there isn't anybody else or anything else lying in wait for us while have our backs turned, essentially.
Perfect. I need you to make an intuition plus vigilance check, is what we're going to call it. And that is a spot check, so I can't remember what aptitude that is off the top of my head.
I think there was...
In this situation, it would be medicine would work, and then there's some other like basic spot stuff. All right. So Brandon and Ray, what'd you get?
Got 3.
You get Ray.
I wanna. Can I spend time?
Ooh,
You can spend seconds to. You can spend 1 second to re-roll one of your dice. You may spend 2 seconds to add a D8 to your roll, and you may roll a D8 to see if you get a success. You may spend 6 seconds to remove all the stress die, which you don't have any right now. So.
Okay, I'm gonna do
Thank you.
2 for a D6 and a D8.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was worthless. Yeah, still nothing.
Nothing. All right, so 3 successes shows the same problem you saw up in the control room. It looks like someone has culled almost every single log and record that you would normally get in here, going back years. Even stuff that you know that you have sent to somebody's account. You log into your email. There's gaps everywhere. You do, however, find a email dated. Roughly 65 years ago, or I'm sorry, yeah, 65 years ago. That is basically one of the crewmen complaining of a migraine that wouldn't go away, and there's like a conversation between a nurse and a doctor about like everything that they've tried and how the migraine just is consistently getting worse and worse and worse. And so much so that like they're requesting to put them back into stasis because they're not sure they're going to be able to cure whatever's wrong and like wake up the next crew member or rotation. And that is the last you see of it.
So guys, looks like about 65 years ago, we've got our situation 0, our patient 0. There was a crewman who was complaining about migraines that were getting progressively worse, and no treatments were effective. They were one of the nurses and doctors on crew at that time. They were concerned that there would be issues with the next shift and all that.
By the way, Crewman Daniels, who was the biosciences person.
Ah, damn.
So,
Damn, it was Daniels.
Damn.
Yeah, Daniels is on 2 rotations before you. He does not wake you up, but you know.
We leave notes for each other. We've been leaving notes.
Well, you have to follow reports and run stuff down, so you have a kind of an understanding who may be in your position elsewhere.
Yeah.
Otto, what'd you get?
2 successes.
All right. You actually get to the station's the central bioscanner section, and you start kind of going through menus and stuff, and realize that it only reads the 4 of you in this room or in this area right now, and for some reason sensors outside of this area are not working. There seems to be something messed up somewhere in an internal sensor array, because this is the same problem that you were running into previously.
Ray,
yeah.
got a problem.
Henry, what'd you roll?
What?
I spent time and got 4 successes.
Hey.
Oh my God! So you are you kind of walk into the triage strip. There's 3 or 4 different seats in there, kind of setting stuff up. It's a very rarely used situation, but there could be accidents and engineering or something, and that's kind of what it's for. However, as you walk in, in each of these seats there is a body. Each of them, you just look down, and immediately, now the thing you do is your phenomenal successes, you kind of open, and as soon as your eye catches all 4 seats closed, you boop, and then you hear him go, "Hey Ray, I need your help," and then you're looking to the left and going,
"Shh," and I'm gonna close this door.
And Ray slowly looks your direction.
And I just motion.
And this is exactly what he does.
mm. Yeah, so Otto, you're kind of well, you didn't hear, you're in the other room, so you may have heard him say something, or no, he's whispering, you didn't hear shit.
No, I just
Ray,
motion.
come on, dude.
I'm gonna throw my shoe at him.
Did he see what Henry did? If he saw it, he's going to run to Otto.
You two are at the nurse's station. He is in a room adjacent. Otto went back into the infirmary, so he does not hear the whispering. He does not know this is going on. That's why Otto is continuing to yell.
I'm gonna stop. Okay, door's closed. Let me go back in there and tell Otto to shut the fuck up.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. If I saw what he did, I'm running in there. Shut the fuck up.
What?
Good thing this isn't a podcast.
Oh no, I would not pity the editor. I mean, I would pity the editor. I go back in. Okay, I don't want to alarm anyone, but there's 4 other, right in the next room, just sitting there. And if they're anything like our friend Yost, yeah, I don't want that door open.
Did you see their eyes, or did you see?
I opened the door, saw there were 4 of them, and closed it back up
And
before.
Brandon's with it. We're all together, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, because I was back by you looking through med records
so you
to
can
see what was going on.
To be,
So
Would I know
everybody
what
has a
that
sedative except for me, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But what is
Alright.
that room adjacent to the nursing? The room with the people in question.
Was that the triage station?
That's the triage. It was the
Triage.
triage station. There's 2 entrances into triage, one from the infirmary, one from the front room that you're in.
So one from this room.
So
where we're
here's
in
the
right
deal. We are at 11:45, and it is possible you are going to trigger a fight with 4 of these things in the next session. So we are going to call the evening here because
makes
that
sense.
fight could take a
Yeah.
few moments. However, we're going to take the last 20 minutes or a few minutes here to kind of discuss. One, how did everybody enjoy it? What'd you think? What are you thinking? Anyone?
Don't want to do this. This fight. Don't want to do it.
I keep kind of coming to the realization that nobody ever like takes a combat. At least in the games I've been in, none of us have, except for that one. You had the one gun
Yeah.
back in, but other than that, if we don't have someone who can fight, we kind of hurt these fights.
Well,
That's what makes a horror game, man.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Otherwise, it'd be D&D. Like it's
Ray,
good.
I think Ray, don't you have a combat stat? What do you have?
no,
Did you
no,
ta-
no,
No, you didn't. Okay.
no,
Um,
I want to be honest. No. Well, no, the
Yeah.
way the character's built, he's an engineer who likes
Yeah,
to cook.
That's right.
Oh.
He's a cooking engineer, so he's not really. He's more cooking Papa, not shooting Papa.
Oh no,
So-
he could take a beating though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's tough as shit. So, yeah, and it does affect things when you're doing like horror games. I love that people do like, I'm not a combat person. Like, why would I be doing combat here? And then now your dread manifestations are going to be able to take you far away. Right now, you're being a little hesitant to use them, and I don't blame you. But I'm gonna point out the closer to death you get, the more you're going to want to use. Probably blow some of those bad boys. So
Yeah, no, I was
Oh.
thinking about blinking the fuck away, but then that becomes I am alone.
No, that whole
Yeah.
fight, I was thinking about using that temporal stutter to just keep knuckle him in the face.
So like maybe we are being a little RPG spec because it's like we are kind of like at the very first room, but I definitely want to use my ability at some point to go to the bridge, whether that be alone or whether that be with peeps. But I just want to make sure that if I go there, I'm not gonna go like show up and then suddenly be surrounded by yosts.
No,
Like
see, no, that's
13
the
of them
flow.
in there. Like,
No, that's the plan. It's like we're gonna go get weapons. Ray's gonna go with you. You blink in there, he's gonna be invisible. So if there's anything in it, he's got the jump.
yeah,
And I mean, worst comes to worst, I could activate it twice, but that's 6 minutes.
Mhm.
That is what, 2 distress die?
that's 3 distress die just
That
off
is-
6 minutes.
thought it was 1 for every 3.
No, it's 1 for every 2, and then you get up to 5.
Ah,
because-
Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That would be.
I've gotten up to 3. Actually, I got up to 4.
You want to
Yeah.
know? That's a funny story. Like the story with cat and radios is just like awesome.
Cat and radios.
Go watch the reruns. They're
Do
on
we have anyone
YouTube.
in the chat who has any questions, comments, concerns, anything they'd like to add to the discussion here before we head out and get our sign-offs handled?
I want to take a second to thank any and everyone who was able to donate to help my friend Sean keep his home.
Thank you.
Yes,
Him
thank
and
you,
his
everybody.
kitties appreciate it. Even 5 cents is helpful because it all adds up.
Yes, thank you very
and
much.
Thanks, Izzy and the Nat 30s, for always hosting this awesome funness. And that's all I'm going to do for thanks because maybe Papa's got some wrap up thanks. And I'm jumping the gun.
I mean, everybody can kind of do their thing. So, yeah, I think we'll just do it. We'll touch base with everybody really quick just for a sign off, and then I'll close this out, or I'll let Izzy close this out, but I'll hand it off to Izzy if she would like. Do you have anything else to say, Kat, that you needed to as for your sign off?
Yeah, I look forward to my Midnight Mondays. I love this game. I need to give you money because now we've been doing this for a while and you deserve my money.
Yay, money!
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, we're God, I can't wait until the book releases, but there's so much work. I'm gonna sit down and finish the. I'll give an update on the game at the end of the sign off. Henry.
So yeah, you know, the stroke of luck found me here. Stroke of luck's kept me here, and I have loved every second of it. Every non-successful roll has been a wonderful way to advance the story, whether it be by trial or tribulation. So for as long as you'll have me, I'll keep it rolling. I have recently begun my quest into learning how to draw. So follow me on Twitter at LuckyAnner if you want to see my. I haven't tweeted in like a week, but I'm trying my best at the tender age of 28 to pick up a pencil and learn how to draw funny things.
There you go.
Never too late.
Logan?
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked to see how the game's progressed since I did, what's the whatever main? Sorry, I'm forgetting.
Avery.
Avery main, like 2 or 3 years ago or something like that. And it's come a long way, and I'm super excited about it. Kind of a joint project I'm doing, but check out the Miskatonic art project on TikTok. We are going through the Death May Die Cthulhu tabletop board game and painting all the miniatures and telling you about the characters, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. So check that out.
Cool. And Ray?
Well, I'm the new guy, but I am on Twitter and I'm on Instagram, Xavier Hurst, and I'm also on Discord on Bozy by Night. So you can check that out. This is play-by-post. It's pretty fun.
Cool. Whoa, again with this headset thing. All right, to sign off, right, so that I can actually take this off instead of knocking it off my head like a goober. Just give everybody an update. We are still plugging away at the book. Chapters are being sent off to the editor. As the editing process is finished per chapter, which the plan is that it will go in order, we will end up releasing those PDFs to the Midnight World website for free. We are going to keep those free PDFs of the chapter by chapter thing up until the entire book is ready to be released. And then a couple weeks before the release of the PDF, we will pull it back. This is for all of the backers that we kind of explained on the stream last time, but like all the backers that hit us right before COVID, like this thing got funded right before COVID, and then during COVID, like paper went up 400% in cost, and like all these wild things, just sort of like one of the main developers was a nurse, and guess what he had to do, and then it's just been like a wild roller coaster, as all our lives have been for the last 2 years, because COVID is in fact real and a thing that we have to deal with.
No, it ain't.
No,
it ain't.
Wear your mask. Get vaccinated.
Get goddamn vaccinated.
Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb.
Don't listen to those people. Just don't.
Wear your masks, monsters.
Yes.
Spirits.
Now, continuing on here, I am currently working on are I've finished up most of the director's chapter. I've got some stuff I want to clean up on that before I send it in. But I am also working on the random generation adversary chart, and it is very hard to do, and I'm having a lot of problems with shoring it up the way that I need to. I've got 3 different systems that I'm trying to see which is the best one to combine into the way they're supposed to go, but it's a lot of fun, so long as I have plenty of scotch. And that being said, I would like to thank everybody for coming and joining us here on Midnight Monday. Thank everybody for donating to the mutual aid. And like I said, every single week we have a new mutual aid request. If you know of a mutual aid request that you would like to get featured here, please send it in to the Nat30s, or you can find me on Twitter at GnomesGold, GNOMESGOLD. And send it to me there. And like I said, anyone has any questions, you want a free PDF of the rules system as stands right now, we can send that your way as well. You can join us on Discord. We have in the Nat30s channel, and then we have a Midnight World Discord that is it's where I found Ray today. Or Xavier. We found Xavier in the Discord channel over there, and brought him over. For those that would like to join both, let us know. We can get you links. But I believe, do we have any other questions or anything from the chat before I hand it off to the lovely and talented Izzy?
I love you, chat.
We
Thank
do
you,
love
people.
you, chat.
You guys are awesome.
Real quick, tomorrow night is stage 2 of the Sunday and Tuesday hide and seek tournament in the Nat30s chat. Come and play with me. You can win prizes. I make them with my own 2 hands. Like things like this. Ooh. So pretty, right? You want to get that in the mail? Okay. That's all I had to say.
Okay, and all right, so here we are. I'm going to finish up. I'm going to hand it over to Izzy if she would like to say something before we bounce. Oh, they can't. That's right. They can't hear you because of the webs. So Izzy loves you all and says goodbye, but she can't hear her. So I just sat here a minute and asked myself for a few minutes. But if you know me, it's just par for the course.
That's why we love you.
We will see everybody next week at 9 p.m. on the Nat 30s channel to probably conclude Generation Midnight.
Might be a 4-parter.
No, I doubt for this one. I'm really trying to shorten them. Like, I'm trying to shorten up my stories. I have a tendency to put too much shit in there, and it takes forever to get there because I'm like, yeah, they would obviously have these rooms, and I want the people to be able to go in those rooms too, and don't want them to just be empty, right? What is this? And then, but I'm not doing
Spider-Man
that
3 it every time, dude.
I do.
You can't put all those villains in.
I can't do it. I can't put all the villains.
Yep.
Like I had to cut both the Rhino and the Lizard from this session because it was just getting too much.
Giamatti gets the short end of the stick every fucking time.
Every poor Giamatti. Everybody. See you next week.
Be safe, everybody.
Goodbye.